Mall Grand Prix of Edmonton. Check it out, a monumental build is about to peak. Say hello to the West Edmonton Mall Grand Prix of Edmonton. 7 months to organize, 3 months to construct, new blacktop on most of the racing surface, and yes, mountains of scaffolding to hold enthusiastic Edmonton racing fans, and boy, have they been supportive. A new chapter in Canadian auto racing, true to the standards set in Vancouver, Toronto, and Montreal. Yes, the entire city is in a week-long racing festival with the best yet to come. A peaceful-looking skyline of the city of Edmonton. We welcome you aboard, and that peaceful skyline has witnessed plenty so far. As you see, you look there, the stands are full. That has been one of the storylines. Hello, everybody. Jim Taddy welcoming you along the Global Television Network. Crowds have been plentiful here the first 2 days, with it expected to peak tomorrow. They're looking for over 200,000 people. The weather has been a factor. Everybody knew that when they hit the track yesterday, so they knew what they had to do. This is what happened very early this morning, 10:20 this morning. Practice called off, standing water, an absolute no-no for racing. Too dangerous, so they covered up the cars. Paul Tracy wanted to get out there. He had an interesting day yesterday that we'll explain later on. And also Sebastian Bourdais, 10th yesterday. Yes, he wanted to get out there and wanted to move up the grid. And this was the scene. They had to clear that water off in hopes of being able to compete this afternoon. So what they've done is compressed both practice sessions into an afternoon one and afternoon qualifying to set the grid. Look at that. The fans were not deterred by any of the weather conditions. And so we developed the weather story, one of our storylines we're going to follow throughout the next hour of this broadcast. And now we take you to one of our pit reporters, Don Martin. Don?
Thanks, Jim. Already a positive sign. The teams are off their wet tires and back on slicks. A sure sign the track is drying out. Now, there's still a qualifying spot left open in the front row, and that is good news for a guy like Sebastian Bourdais, who, as you mentioned, is 10th. He locked it up going into turn 7 yesterday and smacked the wall, and Bourdais, the series points leader, has struggled mightily with his setup all weekend long. But good news for him, the pole is still in play. However, it's still cloudy. If we get a little more rain, you never know. We could have another surprise alongside A.J. Allmendinger in the front row. And now let's join Todd Lewis.
First order of business for these Champ Car teams when they arrived in Edmonton is to learn this brand new track, the 1.9-mile circuit here at Fitting Speedway. The teams arrived on Thursday. First order of business, a track tour. They come on scooters and golf carts, rental cars, and even on foot. Before they run a single practice lap in their race cars, the drivers and teams of the Champ Car World Series are given the opportunity on Thursday to go out and try to learn their way around this brand new track.
Kill your position.
Each driver hopes to gain any advantage they can on their competitors by carefully studying the circuit.
You can look at data all you want, but we have nothing on Edmonton so far, so try to, like, guess on the setup right and see if there's something we can see on the track that could give us an indication in which direction to go.
Looking for bumps, curbs, that kind of thing, really, just to give us an idea of how difficult it's going to be to set the car up, whether you're going to need a very pointy car or something that's quite forgiving, a stiff car, something quite soft.
Every time we go out in the car, we have to make it better. You only have an hour each time, so if you can make gains in that first session, that's what we're trying to do out there by going out there and looking at the track. Then you can see yourself further in the weekend.
I spoke with Jeremy Dale of Roo Sports a little on his face. Of course, A.J. Allmendinger and Justin Wilson had the quickest times in the first qualifying session on Friday. They were first and third in the practice leading up to the second and final qualifying session. Every team gets a little black book like this one before they start a new event, like the one here in Edmonton. And I asked Jeremy about that book and said, well, what did you learn? He said, well, we either read it very carefully, or he grinned and said, or we threw it out completely. Jim?
Thanks very much, Todd. Let's go back and relive what happened. Remember, when you see these cars hit the track, it is their first time on. And here's what Alex Tagliani learned about corner number 10. Maintain control. He did not. And the message, of course, was learned in quick fashion also. Corner 10 by Paul Tracy, who spins out, goes in a little hot. Had to be pushed out by the corner workers. Chats with his engineer, radio talking about a rear grip problem. Remember, he had that same issue in Toronto a week ago. Now, here's a point of concern. Entering on the track from pit out while there are cars on the track. Ranger was on the track. Dominguez entering through pit out, and there is the collision. And, of course, Ranger smacked the wall pretty hard, suffered a wrist injury, was taken away for medical attention.
Just crashed, have a problem with my hand, but should be good for the race.
Ranger back in the afternoon qualifying, missed the afternoon practice, but you see there he has the bandage on the bruised left wrist. Would it be a factor? Stay tuned. On the track, more hijinks here. Alex Tagliani spins in corner 9 and has to get out of that toot sweet. He's about to be T-boned by Paul Tracy, but was not. Tracy again learning another lesson about corner 10. This time will go back end into the tires and suffers rear wing damage that had to be repaired. Sebastian Bourdais in disbelief. Look at that. That picture tells you quite a bit, and he's not going to make up any time there. A.J. Allmendinger had problems as well, a flat tire, and just when it looked like he was in trouble, he's back on the track, and in the last few seconds grabs the provisional pole over his teammate, Justin Wilson.
AJ, I'm sure you approach this session as being the pole because of the uncertainty over the weather.
I mean, it was something that for sure we want to get a good time in today. You never know what's going to happen with the weather. It doesn't look so good tomorrow, which at this moment seems great to me. But I think about 15 minutes ago when I was sitting in here with a flat tire and sitting P18, that didn't seem so good. So, you know, I mean, it was hard work. My team, they busted their butt. They saved my mistake again.
So this is where it stood after Friday's work. Paul Tracy was 3rd, Alex Tagliani 6th, Andrew Ranger was 15th. You remember the Tracy story last week? Had the grip problem, battled one wing instead of two, ran out of gas, and as he greeted the track yesterday, he again battled with the rear grip problem and spoke to reporters about it.
Yeah, the car is not really there. I mean, we're struggling with the oversteer in the car, and it's real nervous feeling. His back end wants to get away from me all the time, so we made it a little bit better for that second run, but obviously we're not quite where the Roost Sport team is. They seem to be on their own planet here. So we got some catching up to do, but, you know, we got a solid 3rd today and, you know, possibility of rain tomorrow, so we'll see what happens.
And now to the play-by-play crew. You remember Memo Gidley? He's been with us before on Champ Car race coverage in the Global Television Network. We welcome him back, and we are proud and pleased to have with us calling the race this weekend, Paul Page. Paul?
Oh, and it's so good to be here on this great event. Now, if you're going to look at qualifying and saying, well, it's the fastest guy takes the pole, it's a very simplistic view. It's a really quite a tactical session to figure out when to go, what tires to have, how much fuel to have on board. And then you add in the rain that we had this morning, it makes it that much more complex.
Yeah, it's going to be very, very tough decision when to go out. You know, you've got 2 sets of tires. You try and get the first set, first time in the bank, make it solid. And then the second one, you just try and hang it out there, but wait to the very end when the track has a lot of rubber and a lot of grip.
Of course, it's real easy to wait just a little too long. Then the track itself and the drivers. You saw them out walking the circuit. What do they think?
Well, I've gotten nothing but good reviews from the track. It's very exciting. You know, it's got a real mixture of high-speed corners, real wide straightaways, a lot of technical road course stuff, but very exciting. They all say it's very busy. They love driving on it, and they can't wait to race on it.
I've been to a lot of first-time tracks, and let me tell you, they've done the job here perfectly. Now, what about the track itself? It's an airport circuit, just like they race at Cleveland. And at Cleveland, the first turn is always a problem. Now, Memo Gidley got out his high-powered golf cart and was able to go look at the circuit, and especially turn 1 to make sure that Paul Tracy is able to get through that turn 1 complex, unlike Cleveland.
We're underway. Tracy goes way left. 5 wide, contact. Tracy goes around. Parts littering the racetrack.
Turn 1 here in Edmonton and turn 1 at Cleveland are very similar. You have a very wide entrance that funnels into a fairly tight exit. What you usually see is a little bit of contact, a little bit of bang, and a few accidents here and there. The other area that's going to be a problem is over my shoulder coming out of the pit. When the driver comes off the pit lane speed limiter, he's going to be accelerating up to this corner, while another driver on the racetrack is going to try and navigate around the corner. What you might see is a little bit of contact, people having to back off and then get through the next turn. And that's not the only problem. We'll go look at some more. Another area on this Edmonton racetrack that's going to be a problem spot is this turn 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 complex that you see me on right now. As you can see, the curbing here is very narrow. It's not much wider than the golf cart tire. What ends up happening in the race is drivers use more and more of this curb, eventually dropping the wheel in the dirt. This drags dirt onto the racetrack, makes it very slippery and easy for a driver to make mistakes and fall off the track. Now let's go look at a high-speed area. Probably the most critical part on this Edmonton racetrack are turns 13 and 14 here. Not only is the highest speed corners on this track, but it also leads into the best passing area heading into turn 1. If a driver bobbles a little bit here, gets a little sideways, they're going to lose their momentum and get passed going into turn 1 complex. Those are my 3 key areas of this Edmonton racetrack.
And, of course, to help him out, we made it sound like he had a Ford in the back of that golf cart. But that's the circuit that will challenge them. A number of other challenges, the trials and tribulations of Andrew Ranger, the man from Quebec, a young guy, very strong, very fit, in his car, ready to go out for qualifying, but it has not been, as we showed you, a good weekend. Don Martin was able to catch up with him a few minutes ago.
It's a testament to the Champ Car that it can withstand an impact of some 60 Gs and the driver comes out with a bruised wrist, but nonetheless, it is a factor. Andrew, how does it feel today?
I know today the traffic is raining this morning, and it's very terrible in the track. The track is wet. No traffic this morning, but now it's this afternoon. It's like half a minute. I don't know. It's like 30 minutes, something like that. Yesterday I have a big problem with the car, but today should be pretty good.
But physically, your wrist, how does it feel?
Yeah, I'm pretty good. You know, I crashed pretty hard yesterday in the wall, and right now I put some bandage, and I probably feel pretty good in the car. But yesterday hurt me pretty much in the car.
And the damage, $50,000 where some would say it, but more importantly, it costs you track time, and that is crucial at this stage of this race.
Yeah, exactly. You don't have a lot of practice this weekend, and if you forget the one practice, it's hard for the team.
Andrew, thanks a lot. Good luck. Back to Jim.
Thank you very much, Don. There he is, Paul Newman on the podium with Oriol Servia's second-place finish a week ago and getting set and very happy with the way things are going in the first-ever West Edmonton Mall Grand Prix of Edmonton. Sebastian Bourdais getting a look, and we'll see what he does in qualifying right after this timeout along the Global Television Network. The West Edmonton Mall Grand Prix of Edmonton, brought to you by West Edmonton Mall, the greatest indoor show on earth. Finning, count on us. Ford, the exclusive supplier of Champ Car and the official vehicle of the West Edmonton Mall Grand Prix of Edmonton. And the city of Edmonton, Alberta's capital city. Welcome back to the Finning International Speedway. Qualifying underway for the West Edmonton Mall Grand Prix of Edmonton. Now to the booth, Paul Page and Memo Gidley. Paul?
And yeah, we already have yellow flags flying in qualifying. 2 cars off as they all try to get restarted once again. Look like Tagliani. There's Mario Dominguez. He's got his problems. The time they're all shooting for is 58.628. Very, very fast, but this has to bring out a red flag, and that's going to slow this session down.
Yeah, and that's exactly what the drivers didn't want, because I think that most of them realize that if they're going to get fast out there, they got to get the track rubbered in and get it gripped up, and that means doing laps out on the racetrack. So red flag's going to slow this process down quite a bit.
Red flag has, in fact, come out now. Here's what happened when you pretty much catch the aftermath of it. And what we really look for is damage on the car to see whether or not the car can get out again. And in many ways, this is exactly what you've been predicting since your arrival here, and that is the possibility of throwing a lot of dirt up on the track. And even though they can brush some of it off, in the race they can't, and it still makes it pretty slick.
Yeah, for sure. And the other thing, because we had a little bit of rain, you're going to get a little bit of water buildup on the edge of the track. All you got to do is dip your tire just a little bit into that water. You're going to lose a ton of grip and spin out like we just saw happen.
The safety team leans down, talks to Alex Tagliani. Boy, he got a big punt there.
Yeah, it almost looked like he was coming up on a slower car, maybe trying to attempt a pass there.
maybe he was on the gas and trying to do a lap, and the Walker team there was slowing down, maybe trying to get up to speed.
Of course, we did get a glimpse of another car moving slowly just ahead of them at first. Here right now is what they're all shooting for. A.J. Allmendinger is 58.628, and Justin Wilson, his teammate, at the moment at least, sits at 58.954. Now, earlier we had a chance to talk with Justin.
Justin Wilson, he had a very good qualifying time on Friday. We were worried this morning because of the rain showers. However, looks like it's drying up. Are you just going to kind of feel your way, or are you going to be aggressive?
No, we're going to feel our way into this and see how it works out. Try and be aggressive at the end and get a good time. See if we can get the quickest time today. It'll guarantee us from those cars. So it's going to be quite interesting.
Paul Tracy said yesterday that Roosevelt is on another planet of some sort. Have you guys found something in this car, or you just like the track?
We both like the track. I think it suits us, but at the same time we've had a steep learning curve, and struggling early on in the season, trying to get the car to work in the limited time. We've got a good understanding of what's required to get the car to work over different circumstances. So when we come to a fresh track, it's new for everybody. We believe that we can react quicker, and we're used to reacting quickly and making the right choices.
Now, this Roosevelt team as well, I imagine, is feeling pretty confident after last week in Toronto.
Yeah, getting our first win in Toronto was fantastic, and backing that up this weekend, we've been very quick so far. It's great. We want to try and back it up again and get another win and really start the momentum rolling.
And spreading the success around, too, with A.J. having the quick time on Friday.
Yeah, I mean, it's been like that all season. We've both been so close, and wherever we are, we're together. So just hope we can do it again here and both have a good, strong race. Keep moving up that championship table.
Thanks for this, Justin. Good luck today.
Thanks so much.
And what a great world it must be to come off of a win and then drive so quickly here. Alex Tagliani, car number 15. He has, like all of the drivers, a very busy day and gets restarted under this red flag. But let's meet Alex Tagliani in this Ford profile.
Racing is the most passionate thing that I have in my life. When I'm in a race car and when I'm in a weekend, it's almost if I'm like in a different world. From the fact that Rob and I, really gel together. The chemistry is unbelievable. I try to direct him in, in the best possible way.
I was afraid you were going to say that.
So he will suggest things to me, and I'll say, oh no, if you do this, the car will have this problem because it's already on the edge there. So, and then we funnel all the information and he takes a decision and he puts it on the car. 3, 2. very good, then, you know, if it's a qualifying lap, then I'm really trying to drive around the problem. When the lap time comes up and you're like 2-3, when you come back, it's a good reward, you know, like the guys are happy, you know, they completely forget about the 2-3 hours of hard work they did on the car because of the position we have. We're lucky, we're proud to have 3 Canadian races, and being Canadian and racing for this series, I think it's definitely the least we can do to give time to the media and shit of how good the team is. Because, you know, I'm going to enjoy every minute that I have because I know, you know, you keep aging, and there's a day that I'm not going to race anymore, and I want to enjoy every moment.
Well, with an incident yesterday and then one today, Finning International Speedway has not been so kind to Alex Tagliani. He still sits in the pit, and we continue to wait for the restart of qualifying. Todd Lewis, what's up with him?
Alex Tagliani arrived on pit lane. He had a flat left rear tire. In fact, it was knocked right off the bead. The crew is going to work to see if there was any other damage to the car, be it suspension or bodywork. They're having a close look at that before they send him back out. Tomorrow, before the race in Alex Tagliani's pit, 4 members of the Edmonton Eskimos football team. Tag made an appearance at the football game on Friday night. It was good luck for the Eskimos, Paul, so the Eskimos decided they'd return the favor and join Tags here for the race.
You know, they need to get out and massage in that car a little bit then, because he needs some help. Here it is again from the point of view of Mario Dominguez.
Yeah, what happened there is Dominguez really had nowhere to go. He thought Tag was going to move offline a little bit. Maybe he could sneak by on the inside, but he got too far into the dirt, made contact, and spun off the track.
So the green flag has come back out again. We're looking for more qualifying in the Champ Car Series, powered by Ford. We'll be back. Welcome back. The West Edmonton Mall Grand Prix of Edmonton from Finning International Speedway. Green flag came out just a few seconds ago, and so the cars will take 1 lap at least to come up to speed. There's that really interesting entrance from the pit area as you look again from the Dominguez car.
Yeah, and you can see on Mario's car, he's got the red, the ultimate tires on right now, which means he's just basically going to go out and try and throw one in.
Oh, no. Another car into the wall. That looks pretty expensive, too.
Yeah.
And the red flag comes out right away.
Turn 1, very fast section, 90 miles an hour through turn 1. He must have just made a little mistake and backed it in there.
Alex Sparafico and also the Rocket Sports car against the wall. So again, a 2-car incident. Fortunately, a little padding there from the tire barrier.
Yeah, the tires are pretty soft, but you hit them at any sort of speed, and it's definitely going to take a corner off unless you hit it just direct contact only one way. But that looks like that's going to create a little bit of damage.
Now the safety crew is there right away. Here's what we have of what happened.
Yeah, back end came around. A lot of the drivers are complaining that the car's loose, oversteers on entry. You could see it start to slide just before the apex. Couldn't save it, backed it in, a lot of damage.
And this apparently is the second incident, so unrelated.
Yeah, another car got into the inside of the Rocket Sports car, thought he had a pass there, got about 2/3 of the way on the inside, but not quite enough. The guy on the Rocket Sports car on the outside didn't see him turn in the corner, and that's when the contact happened.
Well, and the number 9 car is Justin Wilson, who won just a week ago. So our second red flag thus far, Jim.
Greg McDonald, President and General Manager of this event, joins us now. And Greg, when you look back a year and a half ago was a thought, and here we are.
Unbelievable, isn't it? Edmonton's been waiting 25 years for this event, and we'll never let it go.
And I don't think there was ever any doubt there would be no empty seats.
Well, we sure knew that. I mean, Alberta loves motorsport. The demographics are perfect for it. Our racing history is strong. We had 65,000 people at our parade, televised throughout North America.
So you're involved with this from day one. Take us through your emotions. You walk into the track Thursday and the track's set. Friday the cars are going. And Saturday, here we are at qualifying.
Well, you know, really busy yesterday, but I made sure I sat in our suite and watched those cars pull out of the pit. You know, really what it means to the city of Edmonton is huge opportunities.
And when you look at the stands, you got to be happy with that?
Well, we have 43,000 people in our grandstands. According to Dick Eiswick, president of Champ Car, we had 57,000 plus fans in the grandstands on Friday.
When you look back, there's been no speed bump bump along the way. Do you not pinch yourself and say, why didn't we do this a couple of years ago?
Well, you know, we should have done it a couple of years ago, but I guess the timing's right now. We don't want to ever let this go. We brought some of the best talent in. Dave Lambert, who ran the Vancouver Indy for 15 years, he's a very big part of it. We've got a lot of the staff from the Vancouver Indy, a lot of people from Toronto. It's all about putting us on the international stage, and it's our opportunity to shine, and so that takes experience and talent. We don't want to reinvent the wheel.
Greg, thanks for your patience. Continued success.
Thanks very much.
We'll take you back just a little bit. This is going into turn 7. Timo Glock and Justin Wilson.
Yeah, Justin Wilson, you know, he's got a fast car. I talked with him earlier. They said they want to go for the outside front row there. And he just tried to get by him really quickly, try and get a clear lap, but it didn't work out.
Let's send you down to Don Martin.
Sports President Paul Gentilozzi, you sense a conspiracy afoot there with Justin Wilson taking out Timo?
Well, maybe a conspiracy of ignorance. I'm real disappointed. Justin's a pretty smart guy, and to do a bonehead move like that on the outlap isn't good. Does a lot of damage and cheats the fans.
It just assures Rousport of a 1-2 start tomorrow.
Well, for sure, the way to have a 1-2 front row is to have a red flag, and they got that.
And Timo Glock 9th at the moment. Let's check in with Todd Lewis.
Also involved in contact, Alex Sparafico of the HBM team. Just spoke with Keith Wiggins, team owner and principal, a little while ago. He's fine. Didn't say anything on the radio about what happened, just that they are done for the day. That car is damaged beyond repair.
And remember, too, that qualifying is an absolute set time, and time is running out now with about 2:45 yet to go. We'll be back with more.
Closed captioning provided by Ford, the exclusive supplier of Champ Car and the official vehicle of the West Edmonton Mall Grand Prix of Edmonton.
What has to be a very frustrated, and you can see by the gesture, Paul Tracy climbs out of his car because just seconds ago, without any action on the track once again after the second red flag, they checkered flag the qualifying session, and qualifying is now set.
Yeah, you know, this is a very frustrating situation for a lot of these drivers that feel like they have a fast car. They just couldn't get out there. They didn't have the time, ran out of time, and just couldn't make it happen. So it's tough. Now they got to go into the race, put their race face on, work their way to the front.
We'll send you down to that pit now. Todd Lewis.
Well, it's a very frustrated Paul Tracy, as you guys mentioned. They thought they had a quicker car than yesterday. They were hopeful that the track might come in. They'd switch to these softer red alternate tires, but never got a chance to run them to see if they could go any quicker. That's where the frustration is. Up to Don Martin.
With Jeremy Dale making plans for the photo with the front row 1 and 2, Allmendinger and Justin Wilson, who kind of, I don't know, Paul Gentilozzi, frankly, was suggesting there might be some kind of conspiracy afoot to guarantee that 1-2 start tomorrow.
No, absolutely not. We you know, it's not the way we want to do things. We don't want to do it in a messy way, and I'm really disappointed for the fans. There's probably 50,000 people here, and unfortunately they didn't see the best Champ Car qualifying session, so that's disappointing. Our apologies to them. But having said that, we're pleased to have the front row. AJ and Justin have both done a tremendous job all weekend, and they deserve that front row.
How much control of the race does it give you?
Oh, it's a great deal of control. You know, we haven't raced here yet, and I'm not sure. Passing here is going to be a challenge. There's no doubt. It's an open layout, but the corners are quick. It's going to be tough to tuck in behind another car. The braking zones are short. It's going to be a challenge to pass. We're happy with that front row.
Well, Todd Lewis standing by down pit.
Well, Paul Tracy gets out of his car, frustrated. He never really got a chance to take a...
Well, I wanted to go earlier. Our thought was to go when everybody was sitting. I thought it might have been a good idea to just go. And we got too far into the window to go. And, you know, AJ went, and we waited about a lap longer than him. And we were basically one lap behind him on the tires. And he got the lap in, and then it went red, and I was coming around on the lap. The previous lap to that, I was a half a second off of him. So I know we would have picked up. But the red came out as I was coming around.
So now you'll have to start behind that Rousport team and headed into corner number 1, shades of Cleveland all over again.
Yeah, I mean, we're in good shape. I think, you know, I think we got a pretty good handle on the car. Obviously, we're closer in terms of time to where AJ was yesterday compared to us. The track is a little more slippery today, but, you you know, like I said, with the weather and everything, we just ended up, you know, 1 lap behind, and the red came out.
All right, so off the start, I know you want to get out for morning practice to see how the track is for actual race day, but is it a plan to try and take them early and get out ahead, or do you know yet?
No, we'll just have to see. I mean, obviously, there's going to be some racing going on now. There's going to be an Atlantic race. There's going to be a Trans Am race. So the track's going to rubber up. The weather's clearing. So it should be good tomorrow, and there'll be more rubber on the track.
Thanks for this, Paul. I know the fans are looking forward to a great race tomorrow.
Thank you.
So A.J. Allmendinger celebrates his first pole, and Rocket Sports, Roo Sports has the front row. And that is a magnificent achievement, especially at a first-time race. But the real qualifying happened yesterday, so let's go back and take a look at that. And most of the top runners have used, as we show you the current standings, have used about half of their total allocation of 15 laps for qualifying. Justin Wilson just went back to the circuit, and in doing so, he also strapped on the red Bridgestone tires. They always have 2 compounds. And Paul Tracy still sitting in the pits. He had an incident earlier, spun it around exactly the same place that he spun in practice on the morning practice session, only this time the barrier got a little closer as he came around and he took down the rear wing. So as we watch now, Sebastian Bourdais, and he too is on the red tires. The difference.
Yeah, the difference. The primary tires, which are normal black in color, are actually, I talked to the Bridgestone folks, and that's sort of their intermediate road course tire. They have an alternate tire, which is the red lettering on the side. And that's a lot softer compound. Basically, what that means is the car's going to go faster. Here, they brought a tire that was very soft. Their softest alternate tire that they have. So I think you're going to see, they estimated about 0.6 of a lap different around here between the 2 tires, which is going to be huge for these guys.
And Todd Lewis, are other people now thinking of changing over?
And Paul Tracy has done exactly that. He's got the reds bolted on. They're just making another rear wing adjustment after that earlier incident where he knocked it off during the practice session, making sure everything is exactly to Paul's liking. They did string the car as well after that run into the tires to make sure that everything was straight and pointed in the right direction. They want to wait a little bit longer. Haven't seen any raindrops in the last little while, so they'll wait for as much rubber to get down on the track, and if there's an open space, they'll be sending Paul out to look for another quick one.
This was a situation with Paul Tracy earlier. Back end just got loose on him, then came all the way around. When he did it earlier, he slid down the little escape area. This time he did not, and caught the tire barrier, and that down the rear wing.
Yeah, you would think there would be a lot more damage. He went in there pretty good and moved 2 sets of double stacked tires back quite a ways. He was lucky to sort of escape with just a wing problem. More than likely, when they were doing the adjustments in the pits, they probably put a little more wing into the car so that he could charge in the corner without that happening again.
Back with the McDonald's car of Sebastian Bourdais. Bourdais is struggling, though. He's currently only 8th quick. Justin Wilson is the fastest, followed by Cristiano D'Amata, who just crossed the start-finish line and has been maintaining almost a full second behind the quick-time Justin Wilson.
Yeah, you never know. You know, the first run out there, you get caught a little bit behind traffic. You know, you blow a corner or you make a little mistake. You really only have a sort of 1 or 2 lap time to get a lap out of these tires when they're actual fastest.
You see the telemetry coming out of Sebastian Bourdais' car. Brake, throttle, gear settings. Watch that speed start to climb now.
Yeah, this is all the drivers have talked about how fast average speed is around this track, and it's not that the straightaway speed is all that much faster than a lot of tracks they go to, but the cornering speed, a lot of 3rd gear and a lot of 4th gear, you know, over 100-mile-an-hour corners around this Edmonton racetrack.
Wow, Don Martin, tell us what's going on with the weather. Is it starting to drizzle?
It isn't, but Sebastian Bourdais out early to take no chances. He's on record as saying he thinks this track could be a lot safer. They're trusting the word of Carl Haas, private pilot, who believes it won't rain till shortly after 7 o'clock local time. Just another reason, another advantage for Newman Haas, and one reason the rich keep getting richer, Paul.
Yeah, there's looks like somebody's going a little slow out there. Looks like
that'd be Bourdais.
Yeah, Bourdais.
And that is slow.
All we saw was the back of the car first dragging, and I couldn't make out what was going on. But obviously, he clipped the barrier and sent that left front off the skew there, and looks like he's pulling behind the wall now. That's going to definitely end his day this afternoon.
You first saw the sparks, you thought, why would they put a full load of fuel in and bottom the car? And then you realized he actually caught the wall, and in doing that, he had moved up to 7th on the previous lap. But now, of course, he has no more qualifying in this session, though he was fairly well down. 12 of his 15 laps complete, but now he's got to go explain to the crew why they're going to have to work all night. Justin Wilson still remains quick, followed by Cristiano D'Amata and Oriol Servia, and then Paul Tracy, who is finally back on the track.
Yeah, and you know, when you look at Sebastian's times during practice and qualifying so far, you know, he hasn't really been up there at the front this qualifying session, so you know he was trying pretty hard and you know, pushing very hard, and obviously the car wasn't there for him as much as he would have liked, and he ended up clipping the barrier.
Sebastien Bourdais, the young Frenchman with his trademark eyewear, walks away from his broken and battered race car. Lots to do here at the venue. A little go-kart track, for example. Where do the Champ Car stars of tomorrow come from? Go-karting. That could be the next Paul Tracy. Yeah, a good many of the drivers of today come from karting. This is also the City Center Airport, and it remains active on one of the runways. Can you imagine being the pilot, landing and finding a Champ Car go flying past you alongside the aircraft? Now, once again, we want to take you back to the way things were during Friday qualifying in our call. With now just under 6 minutes to go in qualifying for the Champ Car World Series, powered by Ford. That's Sebastien Bourdais' number 1, lame by the side of the course. Sebastien walked away after pretty heavy contact with the barrier, and Paul Tracy, now in his number 3 car, is trying to make up for lost ground after spinning earlier, backing into the barrier, and suffering a time penalty because of that. Boy, the car is really skating there as we look at the top 5, Mimo Gidley.
Yeah, it is, and you know, he's done 11 laps so far, and his best lap came on his 6th lap. So I think on this set of tires, unless he's made a lot of mistakes out there, I think he's probably gotten the best out of them so far, and I don't know if Paul's really going to be able to challenge for the pole in this session.
A.J. Allmendinger, he has not been up to speed either. You see him down there at let's see, he just made a move, so Allmendinger is 15th now in overall qualifying. Wilson, D'Amata, Vassar, top 3 now, and only Wilson and D'Amata under the 1-minute mark.
Looks like AJ's out there now, and looks like he's on a flyer. You know, he went faster in practice this morning than he has so far in qualifying, so I think he just didn't get any clear laps yet. I think the next 2 laps are going to really show how fast AJ is out there right now.
You saw Andrew Ranger go out on the course. He's still nursing that left hand. And Tagliani jumped up to 3rd for a second, but then as we were watching him, Allmendinger really jumped up and laid down a 59.301, putting him 2nd quick behind Wilson.
Yeah, you could see that coming. You know, it's rare that somebody goes slower early on in practice and doesn't go faster in qualifying. So, you know, he just got blocked or didn't get out or the timing was wrong. But he's not even a flyer right now. You can see him hustling that car around. It's bouncing and sliding. This might be even better yet.
15 car of Alex Tagliani. We'll stay with him for a moment, though
he's cooling down a little bit.
Yeah, he's not really motoring all that fast.
Yeah, he's done 11 laps, but, you know, a lot of times with the tires, they'll back off a little bit, let him cool down, and try and get one more lap out of him. Looks like that's what he's doing right now.
Yeah, just put it through a heat cycle.
Yeah, they cure a little bit. You kind of, you know, recharge yourself, kind of, you know, even going slow, they're going 130, 40 miles an hour, but you try and calm down a little bit and then really try and nail one.
Allmendinger, you just saw him. He put in another lap, did not improve on his time, but Paul Tracy did with a 59.710 and moved to 3rd overall.
Wow, that's on his last lap, too. Or he's got 2 more laps to go. He might be able to get another one here.
And again, you see by the clearly marked red on the side of the tires that he, too, is on the softer compound. Somebody in trouble here. Tagliani gets it back out of the way, and he's going back on course. Of course, he's running out of time as well. Just under 2:30 to go, counting at 2:25 right now.
Yeah, and it was that Tagliani that was right in front of Paul Tracy coming around on a fast lap. I'm sure Paul's not going to be very happy about that.
Paul had so few opportunities anyway, what with the spin and the penalty.
You can see cars coming out. Now Paul comes into the frame, into the picture there, and he had to back out just a little.
Tagliani wisely gets out of the way. Two of them had some issues last year, didn't they?
Yeah, for sure. Toronto last year, there were definitely some heated comments going on from each of those guys. You know, when you're out there racing hard, it's easy to let the emotions sort of take over on you.
Well, Paul Tracy has his opinions and is not hesitant to voice them. And Tagliani's not necessarily a guy who's going to back down either.
No, they're both, you know, I was teammates with Tagliani last year, and he's definitely, you know, he's on the rev limiter, we call it. He's on charge all the time. And Paul, he says exactly what he's thinking, which those two together definitely butt heads a little bit.
Justin Wilson still has provisional pole with a lap at 58.954. Again, that's qualifying yesterday. This is from early this morning. The rains came down. I think everything got thrown at the racers today. The rain, and then Tagliani, with a little help from Dominguez, gets pushed off the race course. His weekend hasn't been all that good. What happened in those final seconds of qualifying? We'll find out when we come back.
The West Edmonton Mall Grand Prix of Edmonton, brought to you by West Edmonton Mall, the greatest indoor show on earth. Finning, count on us. Ford, the exclusive supplier of Champ Car and the official vehicle of the West Edmonton Mall Grand Prix of Edmonton. And the city of Edmonton, Alberta's capital city.
Well, a few seconds ago, we were watching a big smile on Justin Wilson's face, and that was until A.J. got around and moved on to the provisional pole. Let's go down to Don Martin.
Well, there's no question Roosport has this figured out, Paul. They see elements of a temporary airport circuit, temporary street circuit, and you know, a full-time road course here, and they've been able to match their simulations. And A.J. Allmendinger climbing out of the car with the provisional pole. Obviously a happy man with his teammate Justin Wilson right behind.
Brand new circuits give you an opportunity to really show off your versatility and how good you are at interpreting a circuit. And certainly A.J. did that.
Yeah, I love to see it. You know, A.J. was really hanging it out there, driving hard. He got the pole. It's great to see. Good accomplishment. Also, the Roosport team, you know, 1-2 on the grid. That's awesome for them.
So that was Friday qualifying. Nothing changed with a still somewhat damp circuit on Saturday. The Roosports team has the row with Allmendinger and Wilson. And what about Andrew Ranger? Let's go to Todd Lewis.
Andrew Ranger, frustrating way for qualifying to end. What did you find out about the car today?
Oh, you know, today was much better. I think the car was pretty good this morning. No very drastic. The qualified 7, but the time of yesterday was more faster. I start in the 16th position tomorrow. You know, it's going to be a long race tomorrow. I don't use my tire today. I use just one set of tire. I have a plenty of set of tire tomorrow. This is very good for me. But tomorrow is going to be a long day. I don't know how much lap, but it's going to be pretty excited.
Well, you came from 14th off the start in Monterey and ended up on the podium. Can you do the same tomorrow?
You know, if the chance with me, I think you never know. You never know. If I have a great car tomorrow, and the practice and qualify, the car was pretty good, actually. I checked the data, and my car was pretty good. You know, it should be interesting for tomorrow.
Good luck tomorrow, Andrew.
Thank you very much.
Let's go up to Don Martin with Sebastian Bourdais.
Sebastian's just setting his hands device and helmet aside. Sebastian, obviously a frustrating afternoon for you, and you have yet to show this weekend what this car can do. Are you going to be able to be confident in it enough tomorrow to get the job done?
Well, unfortunately, we know the small mistake I made yesterday is obviously really pricey. It's just really unfortunate for the Magnus crew, but that's the way it is. We're just going to have to keep our heads up and try and improve the situation tomorrow.
Were you able to make any progress today?
Well, as you've seen, it's been a non-day, right? We did 4 laps out of the whole day, so no, we obviously accomplished nothing. We had a pretty good car, I thought, on the first day, and did the P1 lap on the first practice, but then after that, nothing's been happening.
But as we've seen for the whole weekend, almost anything can happen in this track. So even from a 10th spot on the grid, you got to feel like, you know, possibilities exist for you.
Oh yeah, if it's obviously a carnage at front, you know, it might be possible to expect something, but realistically, I think it's going to be quite difficult to pass. The configuration of the track just imposes that, and just gonna have to be patient and hope for the best.
Thanks, Sebastian. Good luck tomorrow.
And by the end of Saturday qualifying, the sun was shining down on Finning International Speedway, and there's the top 5. With those guys, anything could happen when they start the race in turn 1. Now, let's send you back to our host, Jim Taddy.
Thanks very much, Paul. The theme here, the password inaugural. First time out yesterday for Champ Car and their first practice session. In the first qualifying session, a first for A.J. Allmendinger as he wins the provisional pole for the first time ever. And today in qualifying, he wins P1 outright for the first time ever. Ruse Sports 1 and 2, first time ever. No, they did this in Portland 3 races ago, but it was Justin Wilson who was first, Allmendinger second. But of course, the Ruse Sports team coming off their first ever Champ Car win last week in Toronto. Who will the sun shine on tomorrow? Tune in to find out. Race coverage starting at 1 Mountain Time, 3 Eastern, right across the Global Television Network. Thanks for allowing us into your homes, and please join us tomorrow.
Trouble getting started in it. Whether or not that will happen here, the big difference is here. That is a very solid wall on the outside of turn 1. Now they turn toward the flag. A.J. Allmendinger is on the pole. Green flag is out. Allmendinger advances the flag just a bit. Wilson drops back. They're going to go 3-4 wide for the corner. Tracy is right there on the tail of Allmendinger now. And they make it through turn 1 and through. No problem at all. Now Tracy in pursuit. Tracy was able to get just past Wilson on the start. Wilson's going to try to the inside of Tracy. Goes up and over the curb.
Wow, there was a lot of curb there that he got into. He got in there a little hot. Had to use more curb than he wanted. You see the car bounce off. It lost its momentum, and now he dropped a couple spots after that.
We got a quick view from on board Alex Tagliani's car. He's back in here and involved with a fight as Oriol Servia looks for the inside.
That was a great move, just tucked in underneath there, going down the straightaway, a little bit of a draft, and popped out into braking and hopped on the inside of him.
The back on board with Tag. Strung out but still fairly tight as they come to the conclusion of the first of 88 laps. Wow, 173 miles here.
Yeah, you can sure see the cars moving around in turn 13 and 14. You got to remember that the early laps, the air pressures in the tire are down, and so the sidewall moves a lot, and you'll see the cars really jump around these early laps.
Watching Mario Dominguez's position. Boy, isn't that pretty. And this is Ranger on his way on the pit road. Todd, what's up with this?
Flat right rear tire for the young Canadian. That's the problem, although the engine is cut now as well. They've filled them full of fuel. They've changed tires. They've got the starter over the wall to get it restarted, but they're having a look at that right rear to see if there's any further damage. They've replaced the right rear tire. They're looking, but the crew is moving very slowly, and Andrew Ranger puts one hand up in the air as if to say, I don't know what's going on, and neither does the rest of the crew. They have the engine shut off, and looks like it may be a very early end of the day for Andrew Ranger.
It goes from bad to worse to terrible. What do you think's up there?
Yeah, I don't know. He maybe have broke his suspension a little bit because you could see the car was really sitting down when he came into the pit lane, so maybe it was just more than a flat tire.
Got to get a quick view from Alex Tagliani. Looking back at Cristiano D'Amata. Sebastian Bourdais, the McDonald's car number 1. Didn't have the greatest of starts. It's back in 8th right now.
Yeah, Yeah, Bourdais has already moved up a couple spots starting out, and he looks real racy right now. Definitely seems like he's able to charge and picked off a couple drivers, so we'll see what happens.
He is one of those that you mentioned at starting. A lot of teams have two of the softer compound red-walled Bridgestone tires. He is not one of them. Because of the way qualifying went for him, he was not able to have both sets available to him, and so he's got to be a little careful and decide exactly when he wants to go to the softer compound.
Yeah, I think he'll probably wait a little bit towards the end when he sliced his way through traffic a little bit and got in the position when he really needs to race for the lead or race somebody towards the front. That's when they'll slap on those alternate tires, try and get the fastest lap time, the best speed around this track.
Big wide view of turn one. Bourdais now makes the turn on into two. Here's Alex Tagliani.
You can start to see the darker line on the inside. The track is really starting to clean up and pick up grip, and I think as the race goes on today, you're going to see that get darker and darker and guys going faster and faster out there.
So the first laps are already underway, 4 completed, but for Andrew Ranger, it's time in the pits, and it's turned out to be a terrible day. Will he get back out? We'll find out.
Welcome back to the West Edmonton Mall Grand Prix of Edmonton. Todd Lewis along pit road in the Andrew Ranger pit box, and the work continues on both the left front and the right rear suspension. Didn't even take one lap before the young rookie ran into troubles. His struggles continue this weekend here at Edmonton. He's staying in the car, though. He wants to get out and run laps and get as much experience as he can. Of course, there are still championship points up for grabs, but Andrew Ranger's frustration continues here in Edmonton. Let's go up to Don Martin.
Here in the Sebastian Bourdais pits. No special strategy today. There's speculation he might try to get out of sequence and work his way through the field that way, but he's already moved up to 7th. Things are going well. They went with a full fuel load, so Sebastian Bourdais will bide his time and try to do it on speed alone. That's back to Paul Page.
Out in the circuit there is Cristiano D'Amata, and he began slowing and now heads for the pit road, while on the circuit itself it's Allmendinger, Tracy, Wilson, the top 3, with Oriol Servia beginning to worry Wilson from 4th place. And they shut that one down too.
Yeah, something is going on here with Cristiano. It's definitely not a routine stop, obviously, this early on. They're having a look around. Who knows? Maybe this is one of those gearbox issues cropping up right now, but it's hard to say.
We're going to go on board Alex Tagliani's car, and this is a great view through the right front suspension. And this may give you an idea of just how rough this circuit is and why they're so worried about key suspension parts and gearbox parts, the gears themselves, and certainly the half shafts and CV joints.
Yeah, it's a very fast section there too. Really shows the loading of the car.
The look back from Tagliani. Bourdais coming up to Warrior. And let's take you down, Todd Lewis. What's going on with Cristiano?
It is a problem with the suspension on the Bell Micro car. They brought him in, changed tires, but as Cristiano went back out, he reported, I'm still feeling that vibration through the steering wheel. He'll be making another stop along pit road. The crew will investigate further to see if they can diagnose that difficulty with Cristiano's car.
Quick view of the leader, the Western Union car of A.J. Allmendinger, followed by Paul Tracy. Exactly what you don't want in your rear view mirrors. Memo Gedley, a veteran of 30 starts in open-wheel champ car competition. You're worried about the suspension, and it looks like that may be coming true.
Yeah, it's a rough track, and that combined with the curbing too, using too much, you see the cars bounce off if the driver runs over it too hard. And these cars are pretty tough, but they're also designed to be very, very light. So there's always a trade-off between the two of those. And I think you're going to see maybe some more failures as the race wears on here.
As we continue to watch the battle at the front, Justin Wilson, the most recent winner on the circuit in the CDW car, number 9, goes through, running in 3rd place. Let's talk for a second, if we can, about the whole physicality of this. Most of these drivers, if not all, work out constantly. And Cristiano's day is no better than Ranger's. Back into the pits.
Yeah, all these drivers work out, without a doubt, all the time. I mean, it's in between the media stuff that you have to take care of or the PR stuff. You're in the gym. You're, you know, trying to push yourself as hard as possible because there's nothing like the loads you feel on a 750 horsepower Champ car. It's truly awesome when you're out there driving, but it's very, very hard.
Right wheel comes off. It looks like the cowling's going to come off of the engine as well. Sebastian Bourdais, car number 1. Just nibbling away at Alex Tagliani.
Sebastian sure looks fast. I mean, he's definitely, they've made some improvements to the car, or you know, he's figured it out, whatever, but he is definitely moving up. He looks comfortable. The car's not sliding around a ton. I think he's got a little bit of reserve, and he's just slowly picking his way through to get to the front when he can really charge for the lead.
The leader, A.J. Allmendinger. One of the neat things about these cars is all of the computerized microchip technology that's on board. And as they run each of these laps, the system is recording almost everything that happens in the car.
Yeah, there's a lot of
Bourdais.
Yeah, Bourdais, that was a clean pass. You know, when you watch Tagliani go through that turn 13 and 14, he got a little out of shape, just as we had talked about before. Bourdais was able to get a clean run on him. Just a, you know, textbook pass going into turn 1 there.
Talking about the memory, that's, by the way, 5 places up for Bourdais. Talking about the memory chip, they can then take that, all of that data, and they can go run it on a 7-post rig that replicates what the car did on the racetrack with regard to suspension. They can put it on a dynamometer that'll run the engine exactly the way it did in the race. So next year, when they come back here, remembering that they had absolutely no information at all on this track when they came here, next year they will really be fat with good data. Boy, look at the two of them go side by side for second.
Yeah, that was a great try by Wilson, but you know, he had to back out. He was on the inside of the first turn, the first curve there, and then that second curve he tried to shove it in again, and Paul just said, no, I'm not going to have any of that, and he closed the door on him. And I think he saw himself really launching himself over the curb and basically damaging his car, so he wisely backed out of the gas, just settled back in and tried to get him again later.
Ron Serbia almost got him because he did get trapped into that corner.
Yeah, big momentum track too. You know, you can't bobble too much, especially at the start of one of these Champ Car races where there's so many cars packed up behind you. You got to keep the car rolling. You make a slight mistake, somebody gets a run on you, they're going to want to get around you.
So at the front of the field, it's Allmendinger, Paul Tracy, Justin Wilson, who almost had to give up the spot, and then Oriol Serbia. Sitting back in 6th place now is Alex Tagliani. We welcome you back to the West Edmonton Mall Grand Prix of Edmonton. It is still A.J. Allmendinger out in front, being pursued by Paul Tracy, who just barely brushed the wall a moment ago. In front of 80,000 fans, Andrew Ranger, who had hoped for so much out of this race, finds himself in trouble in the Tide My-Jack car. And so, too, does Cristiano D'Amata. Todd Lewis?
Yeah, with Cristiano, it's another frustrating end of the day early. Cristiano, what put you out?
Something broke, I think, on the right front suspension. We still couldn't really have a good look to see what it was. Just it's a major blow for us on our championship thoughts. And out of 7 races, we have 3 DNFs now, so we better. I think from now on, we just have to focus on trying to win races and get our stuff together, hopefully, because championship, having 3 DNF that early in the season becomes more and more difficult.
Thanks, Cristiano. Good luck at San Jose.
Thank you.
And it's sad to see him out so early on as we join Dominguez, and Ranger rolls off the pit road and back onto the circuit. When you saw Dominguez, he was back in 8th place, and we are trying to confirm up a report that Paul Tracy had a pretty good brush left side of the car with the wall.
Well, they're definitely pushing at the front. You know, the top 3 guys are running some of the fastest laps of the race by, you know, a good half a second, and they're really sort of matching each other. Actually, Paul Tracy just, I think, ran the fastest lap of the race, closing in on AJ. So this is going to be a race-long battle. They all seem to be on similar strategies and just going for it. It's going to be interesting to see how this plays out.
And you'll notice that Dominguez is on the red wall tires, and that's the only set that he has. Don Martin.
Well, Sebastian Bourdais' success in moving up from 10th to 5th surprises no one in the Newman Haas pits. He said from the start on Friday he had a great car, but he just had that one incident where he locked up the brakes and smacked the wall coming out of turn 7 Friday, and really Saturday didn't get a chance to show it. So now finally, with the track hot, the race underway, Sebastian Bourdais has moved up to challenge the leaders. Oh, by the way, Paul, I asked after that incident, did they adjust the brake bias on the car from front to back? And they said, well, even if we did, we wouldn't tell you. So, Newman Haas back in it.
Yeah, oh, yeah, sure we did. In fact, we ran it all the way to the rear. We have braking only with the rear tires now in an attempt to save some tire wear on the front.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's going to give out any secrets out there. Definitely keep your cards close to your chest for sure.
Trying to keep track of Andrew Ranger now, and as he does come up to speed, it looks that whatever the problem may have been, hopefully it has now gone away, but still he came out 13 laps behind the rest of the race with all the time spent in the pit. Paul Tracy still runs in second place. Todd Lewis, what's going on with them?
We got a report that Paul Tracy had brushed the wall ever so slightly, and yes, after talking with Neil Mickelwright of the team, he said, yes, he did brush the wall. Paul said, though, car feels fine, not causing him any difficulty. He's going to stick it out.
So PT was just trying to find and establish the edge of the circuit. That's all he was doing.
Yeah, on this type of a course where you're using every inch of the road and the wall's out there, you know, you just slide just a little bit wide, and you end up brushing it. Sometimes the brush sort of helps you. It's almost like hitting a little berm there, but you hit it too hard and you knock off the wheel, and that's the end of your day.
Well, whatever it was, it wasn't enough for Andrew Ranger, and this time when he brings the car in, he climbs out. That's too bad because we were hoping for so much.
Yeah, it's important that a rookie gets as many laps as possible, and especially on a track like this where they really haven't run that much anyway. Coming back next year, having those laps is going to be very valuable. Unfortunately, they're going to be sitting in the pits watching everybody else get the experience.
You hear that nice round of applause, too. You pointed it out during Trans Am competition yesterday. You can almost tell where the cars were by the way they were cheering.
Yeah, it's really electrifying being out here with all these fans and walking through the pits. It takes a while just to get 100 yards. There's so many people, and as a race car driver, I know I really appreciated having that kind of support when I'm out racing, and I know these guys out here driving these champ cars feel the same.
Don Martin, it looks like Tracy's beginning now to reel in Allmendinger a little bit as they close on some slower traffic.
Yes, Anthony James, though, reporting no trouble with the car, even though Tracy is running slightly faster laps. Allmendinger behaving very much like a veteran, just conserving the car to what's required to stay in front of Tracy. An interesting dynamic there, of course, because Allmendinger used to work for Tracy, racing go-karts for him. He was asked after he won the pole whether he was worried about Tracy filling his rearview mirror all day, and Tracy interjected, hey, no, it'd be different if it was Bourdais, but AJ, I like you.
And those are some of the great relationships where really a driver like Tracy can mentor another young driver, bring him along, help him. They come into traffic now, and this should be pretty interesting because Tracy will see this as an opportunity. A.J. Allmendinger skates the car all over the place wisely. Everybody in front of him gets out of the way.
Ouch, you could see what happened there. A.J. came in, Paul was right on him. He had a lap car. He figured if he didn't get him there, Paul was going to basically blow by him. So he shoved it in there, got in there too late, turned the car while he was braking, got it sideways, got a little wide. Paul snuck in under the inside of him.
And that's the Paul Tracy that we know and love. You also saw Marcus Marshall in the Aussie Binions car, the yellow and green machine, and he saw him coming at the last second and tried to get out of the way.
Yeah, you don't want to be in that situation. You can see AJ going in here. He wants to get in there. He comes in with a lot of brake, sideways on the entry. Paul just sneaks it in there. AJ made a pretty good move by not closing the door on him because I think Paul was going to come through either way, even if they banged wheels. But he ended up getting back around him, getting by him down this next straightaway.
So we have a Canadian out front and one of the three Canadians already out of competition. Tough weekend for Andrew Ranger. We'll be right back.
Close Closed captioning provided by Ford, the exclusive supplier of Champ Car and the official vehicle of the West Edmonton Mall Grand Prix of Edmonton.
Well, Paul Tracy's exactly where he wants to be. He's out in front of the field, having taken the lead away from A.J. Allmendinger, but he's not necessarily pulling away. And as the track continues to come into the drivers, they as yet have not gone nearly as fast as they did in qualifying. But now we're at the point where the load of fuel becomes lighter and lighter, 21 laps into the run. And when you look up at the top of the screen from time to time, you will also see the push to pass. And that's 1 minute of a button they can push in the cockpit, and it gives them an extra 50 horsepower. Mimo Gidley has this Konica Minolta Tech Talk feature.
This is one of Jimmy Vasser's Champ Cars. In the back is a Ford Cosworth motor, puts out about 750 horsepower. Now, one of the things Jimmy is able to use in the race is what's called a push-to-pass button located on the steering wheel right here. When Jimmy pushes this button, he's got 60 seconds of 50 more horsepower and 300 more RPM. This is one of the tools that Justin Wilson used last weekend in Toronto to win the Toronto Champ Car race.
Yeah, and that little button will come in significantly, especially when you have a run like from 9 to 10 and you really like to squirt out of there.
Yeah, it's huge. I remember last year in Toronto using it for the first time since I've been back at a Champ Car for a while, and it was amazing. You know, you push the button and that 50 horsepower, the RPM especially, you know, you stretch the gears longer, you can accelerate longer in each gear. If you get a run on someone, you push it, you're probably going to get around them down the straightaway.
Well, here's the interview that we really didn't want to have. Todd Lewis and Andrew Ranger.
Exactly right, Andrew. It's been a frustrating weekend. Began on Friday with the collision and the end of the day early. What happened on that first lap?
Starting the 15th place is not a good place to start, you know. Somebody just coming too fast in the corner and punched my left suspension, broken. You know, the weekend was so tough, you know, starting the 15th place, qualified, you know, crash in the Friday, Saturday raining and don't have a time track, and just finishing the fifth because I broke my suspension. It's very bad. My Jack Conquest tire was pretty good, did a great job, but you know, it's finished bad.
Difficult day for the rookie here in Edmonton, but he'll be bouncing back and ready to go in San Jose.
Oh yeah, Memo, I would guess this guy has an amazing future ahead of him.
Yeah, I'm sure. You know, if he gets the right brakes, he definitely seems to have the right head on his shoulders and the right attitude, and seems to be doing a real great job. So, you know, the thing about someone new that's getting into it, you got to make sure that you're going out there and you're having fun. You're working hard all the time, but you can't let things like this get you down because it is just racing, and you got to be ready to go battle again next weekend.
Keeping an eye on the front of the field, first and second place, Tracy and A.J. Allmendinger. You see the separation of just over 1 second there. It closes up, it spreads, but generally they are right on top of one another. Looking back now to Justin Wilson, the winner at Toronto and the third place car.
I was really surprised. Once Paul got into the lead, I thought he'd pull away a little just because the track is pretty physical, and you know, I thought he'd be able to basically manhandle the car a little bit more. But AJ's a small guy, but he seems to be, you know, hanging on and pushing and actually matching Paul for lap times here as they're going. So who knows which way this is going to go as the laps wind down here.
And a car off the edge of the circuit. Of course, Jimmy Vasser, former series champion, little owner-operator in the series.
Oh, dropped the wheel on the outside when he turned in. Got a little dirt on that right rear as he was turning into the corner. That broke it away, backed it off into the grass.
Well, the good news is that there was nothing there to hit, the advantage of a airport circuit, but it also looked like he killed the engine, which means he's going to have to get a little help to get it restarted. We're getting very close now. A guess would be probably 6 laps away from the first round of pit stops. What should be actually 2 sets of pit stops in this race. And Todd, what are they thinking?
Well, in the Paul Tracy pit, there's a lot of talk and discussion over the last week about the error that took place in Toronto with the refueling. Jerry Forsyth, who is here, the owner of the team, had some harsh words saying this is not a weekend stint. This is a full-time job. The guys can feel sorry, but it doesn't get us that win back. As the team gets ready for the first round of pit stops, there are far fewer monitors up on the timing stand than there used to be. He wants them concentrating on the job at hand and not watching the video screens.
Apparently, the officials are not real pleased with Jimmy Vasser's relative position to the race course. If you look off to the corner stations, you'll see the yellow flags flying in each and every position, bringing out the full course caution and slowing the field. And it's in some ways kind of an awkward time. You'd really like it to come just a little bit later so you could take advantage of it for the stops in a more advantageous situation than 5 laps before you would have stopped.
Yeah, definitely. It's unfortunate. You know, Jimmy was off in a very fast section of the track, turn 4 area, which is about 90 miles an hour, and so they definitely had to go full course yellow to get him off there. See, he started up again now. It's coming off, but it throws a little bit of a loop into sort of everybody's strategy, and we'll see how it plays out here.
And so as soon as they have the field packed up behind the Ford pace car, the pits will open, and I'm guessing that most of them will give it a shot.
Yeah, I'm thinking so too. You know, once you do this, you can basically, I think if you get the right brakes later on, you're going to be able to make it to the end with one more stop.
The pit entrance at this track is a straight shot as you come off of turn 12, and in fact sometimes you'll get a view of the car passing, heading for 13, and then another one going for the pits, and you think, where's he going? You suddenly realize that's actually the pit entrance, and it's coming up pretty quickly here.
Yeah, and we've just seen some accidents coming into the pits on not this racetrack but other racetracks like this, where you do blast down that straightaway. Here they all come in now.
Well, Paul Tracy is going to bring most, if not all, of the field into the pit area, come down to observe the mandatory 50-mile-an-hour speed limit. And here's Tracy.
Quick stop so far for Paul Tracy. It is routine service. The alternate red's coming off. The primary tire going on. They're waiting on fuel. They get them full. No changes. It was a 9.65-second stop.
So with one of the best teams in the business, Tracy in and out just that quick. A little further down the line, Sebastian Bourdais, and he rolls away. Oriol Servia came out behind him. Justin Wilson, because of the work of his crew, is able to move into second place, and that's when a crew really starts to celebrate, especially when it's within the same team.
Yeah, for sure. You know, to do that out on the track is very difficult, and whenever you get a spot in the pits, you're just loving it as a driver. You're just so thankful that they were able to pull that off. The other thing that you want to do right now is during yellows, it's very important to conserve fuel. So you're going to put it in top gear, keep the revs down as much as possible, try and get the best fuel mileage when it's yellow.
It's so fun to be down in the pits just before a stop like that, because the crews get so revved up and they're looking at each other and they're tensing up, and it's their moment to do their thing. And in this case, Justin Wilson's crew did an amazing job and did what his driver couldn't do, put him one position forward on the circuit and into second place.
AJ's been running fast, you know, and unfortunately now Justin's ahead of him. He's been running 2, 3, 4 tenths of a lap slower for the first part of the race, so Justin's really going to have to pick it up, I'd say, to keep Paul Tracy in his sights, but also going to have to pick it up if he wants to keep AJ from getting a run on him and getting around him after this restart.
Well, they have Jimmy Vasser off the circuit, but they'll also want to do a little cleanup there to make sure there isn't too much mud and dust up on the circuit, make it too slippery. So we'll be back, hopefully with a green flag.
Promotional consideration provided by Canadian Helicopters, meeting your needs safely and efficiently from coast to coast and throughout Canada's Arctic.
Well, we welcome you back to the West Edmonton Mall Grand Prix of Edmonton. Paul Page, Mimo Gidley in the booth as we watch Alex Tagliani. And here's the race to this point with 29 of the 88 scheduled laps completed. Paul Tracy, the current leader. A.J. Allmendinger was out in front at the start from his pole position. And Justin Wilson was able to get around Allmendinger in that pit stop round that we've just completed. That put him in second place. Allmendinger, his teammate, is third. Oriol Servia now sits fourth, and Alex Tagliani, this driver, sits back in fifth place. Sebastian Bourdais is sixth as they come up to speed. And as Sebastian comes forward in the field, that eventually puts him up where he may get to talk with Mr. Tracy again. And those are usually interesting conversations.
Yeah, he's definitely moving up, and the top actually 6 guys, they're running very similar lap times, and now they're all together. So not only is the restart going to be very interesting, but those first laps also.
One nice steady acceleration on the restart. There's the green flag. We're back racing in Edmonton.
Boy, Justin got a nice jump there. He didn't let Paul get away and actually closed up a little on him. Wow, he's right on him. He's definitely looking good. His car's working good on cold tires. He's making the most of the advance in the pit stop, that one position. Now he's right on Paul and putting some pressure on him.
Justin Wilson begins to work the veteran Paul Tracy. Wilson still on a psychological high from his win in Toronto. The rest of the field comes through for you.
Remember the difference now too. Paul's on the regular tires, which aren't as much grip as the alternates, and maybe his car's not going to work as good on those tires. We know he struggled a little bit with rear grip in practice, and maybe that's going to come back now that the compound's a little harder.
Yeah, he couldn't get the back end to stick at all through both days of practice, really.
No, he really couldn't, and you could see on the restart how Justin was really able to carry more speed into turn 1 and then into the next complex of turn 2, turn 3, and turn 4.
On this circuit, that problem, you could have solved the Paul Tracy problem with stick in the rear end by just giving you a little more wing angle in the rear, a little less in the front. But he was saying that the front was sticking so good, wanted to try to achieve the effect of getting the rear end to stay on the ground through mechanical traction, adjusting springs and shocks.
Yeah, and I talked with the Forsythe team, and they were struggling with both ends at different places on the racetrack. And remember, this track here, you've got concrete, you've got asphalt, and you've got a lot of bumps. So it's not one constant, consistent surface that they're dealing with, and I think that's what Paul and his team are fighting.
Oh, and there's what you don't want to do is he locks up the left front, coming into the corner with Justin Wilson right on his tail. Do that a little too much. Wear the tire, flat spot the tire.
Oh boy, when you're Justin and you're seeing that happening, you know
I'm going for it.
He's coming back to me. You know, he knows that Paul's feeling the pressure, and you can see how much more aggressive Justin can be with a car than Paul right now.
Well, and it's something that I suspect you can see in the cockpit that the rest of us really can't. You can take a good look at the attitude of that car in front of you, and you know that he's running loose, oversteer, understeer, going in too tight.
Yeah, and just the attitude of the car, you know, entering into turn 1, Paul really takes a shallow line getting in there. I think because he's worried the rear end's going to step out, where Justin is really able to attack the corner, turn sharp, and give it a lot of gas, more gas than Paul getting off the corner and close the gap, which he does in a lot of turns.
The red and white CDW car of Justin Wilson, second place, closes again. Yeah, his nose on Wilson's car seems far more directional on turn-in.
Yeah, and much more stable, too. You don't see the car moving around nearly as much. He can be aggressive, and it stays underneath him.
Well, in the Roosport team, currently occupying second and third place, there was that wonderful battle in the pits. Don, you're down there with Jeremy Dale.
Yes, Jeremy, first of all, the battle in the pits, won by Justin Wilson. No question he's making a move that car seems to be a little stronger than AJ's at the moment.
Well, Justin took a little less fuel than AJ, which is why he jumped over him in the pit lane. So AJ will be able to go a little bit longer on fuel, maybe 2 laps or so, 2 or 3 laps. Both the guys are in good shape right now, both liking their cars. And, you know, Paul is definitely on a good pace. We just don't know how he was doing on fuel. That yellow was a bit of a gimme, and we think he wasn't in quite as good shape as we were on fuel. But we'll see. I mean, it's been a great race so far, and we're going to keep on pressuring Paul.
How do you tell Justin to attack Paul?
You don't have to tell Justin to attack Paul. he'll be attacking Paul. Don't worry about that. Not a problem.
Jeremy, thanks a lot.
Jeremy Dale with a fine racing career of his own, now managing there for Roosports. I don't entirely understand that. Help me with this, Mimo. You're making a stop under the yellow. Anyway, why wouldn't you take on a full load?
Well, I think the pit window getting to the end is doable in 2 stops, and I think that if Justin is able to get just a little bit better fuel economy, that means during the green flag racing, but also during the yellows, that he's going to basically, he was able to take on less fuel, gain a position, and he'll still get to the end. But I think they're kind of rolling the dice just a little bit. Like I said, he's got to get a little better fuel economy than his teammate AJ.
There is AJ Allmendinger. You have been on some pretty big open-wheel teams in your career, driving most notably perhaps for Chip Ganassi. How vicious is it within a team between 2 drivers and their crews?
Well, you always want to beat your teammate. I mean, that's the ultimate judge on how well you're doing. You know, it's easy to say, oh, my team's not that great, or my car's not that good. But if your teammate's doing well, you know, what's your excuse? I think the best teams that are out there are the ones, though, that both drivers communicate and learn from each other. And I think that's what you're seeing with a Rousport team. The other thing I noticed is, you know, Carl Roos, when he talks about his drivers, he says, hey, these guys are the best in the world. And that's the kind of respect and that's the kind of support I think you need to give to the drivers and everybody in that matter to bring out the best in the team. And I think they do a really good job of doing that.
And feed off of one another. Watching AJ Allmendinger, he is currently 3rd place. 36 laps of the 88 are now complete, and Paul Tracy is in front. 38 laps of the 88 now complete. The Champ Car World Series powered by Ford. Nothing's changed at the front. It's still Paul Tracy, followed by Justin Wilson and AJ Allmendinger. But keep a close eye on especially the back end of Paul Tracy's car, because those tires are definitely beginning to go away on him.
Yeah, while the break was happening, Paul was definitely bouncing around a lot and sliding. He had one lap that was just horrible. I mean, he lost a ton of time because he was just fighting the car the whole time. And Wilson and Backlund just seems to be, you know, doing some real fast laps, but just basically staying there, closing in on him, the pressure on. I don't know. Paul's got to get it together here and really control himself to basically stay in front of Wilson.
Now, if you are Wilson and you see that, is perhaps part of the approach is, you know, I don't really need to go up and tangle with Tracy because he's slowing down on his own.
Yeah, but the thing you got to remember right now is Wilson's got a little bit of an advantage because he probably has a little lighter fuel than Tracy. As they mentioned earlier, he took on a little bit less. So he wants to capitalize while he can. At equal fuel loads, they might be not quite as different, more similar as far as lap time. So he'd want to get him. I'd want to get him right now, get in front, and then stay in front to the end.
Well, and Wilson does have the problem of his teammate directly behind him, and he can't tarry too much because then AJ Allmendinger will be right on top of him. So there you see them grouped together 1-2, and then just a pause back to the 3rd place car. Alex Tagliani has a little extra help. The tire catchers, the guys that grab the tires when they come over the wall, are not his regular crew, are they, Todd Lewis?
Oh, no, they've put the Edmonton Eskimos to work here this weekend. Alex Tagliani was at the Eskimos football game on Friday night, and it would prove to be good luck for the Edmonton Eskimos. Steve Charbonneau, the Edmonton Eskimos, is a good friend of Alex Tagliani. They went to high school together. Donnie Brady is here, and Singer Mobley is here, and they've been putting you guys to work already during pit stops. How do you like it?
It's pretty good. It's exciting. I was a little nervous at first, but it was pretty cool. It felt like I was in the game. It's fun out here.
A little heavier contact with those tires than it is out in the football field?
Oh, yeah, just a little bit. You know, like Donnie was saying, it's a real big rush. I'm glad to be a part of it.
Thanks, guys. Good luck to you and the rest of the season, and good luck to Alex today.
And right now, good luck to Paul Tracy because he's going to need it. Wilson is really right there, ready to pounce.
Wilson's in the best position, but he's got to get around Paul here soon to really make the most of that short fuel that they did early on. He's got AJ in back of him. AJ's pushing really hard to stay with him right now. See his car's hopping around, but he's still right there. He can't sit behind Paul Tracy too long. He's got to make a move here.
And as we watch this, you know, they're often are in the Champ Car Series, they're misnomers. You hear people say about we gassed it up. Well, the fuel is not really gasoline. It's methanol, and it's an alcohol-based fuel that burns a little bit cooler. But you and I were talking yesterday, too. If they air the tires up
That's not really air, is it?
No, you use what's called nitrogen in the tires, and basically what happens and how a tire works, you know, once they put it onto the car by the time it's out on the racetrack, is it gets hot, it gets warm. You hear people talk about my tires were cold. Well, they get warm when you run, and any moisture that's in the air inside of the tires expands. So the more expansion you have, the more you have to plan on that and start at a lower pressure early on. This is kind of confusing, but a lower pressure makes the car very unstable. So they put nitrogen in, which has less water in it than air. So it expands less. It has less moisture. It expands less. It allows them to start with a higher pressure, makes the car faster on those cold early laps.
We're watching some great drivers out there, but the great one is also here. Let's go to Jim Taddy.
Thank you very much, Paul. Yes, we're at pit out with Wayne Gretzky back in Edmonton for this race. And Wayne, I bet you're not at all surprised that the city of Edmonton would come out and support this event.
Oh, this is wonderful. It's been a great 3 or 4 days for the city of Edmonton and for obviously the drivers of all these cars. They've had a tremendous amount of hospitality here. The people are wonderful. You know, it's a tremendous sports city, and whether it's the Oilers, Eskimos, or something like this, this community always rallies around it. And I think everyone's had a wonderful time here.
I know you've watched Paul Tracy for years. He has a bit of a hockey player in him, doesn't he?
Well, I don't know anything about kart racing, but he's winning and he's doing very well, so that's great to know. 1 year ago, I happened to go to the car race in Vancouver and was lucky enough to be part of that, and he won the race there. Maybe we can bring some good luck again today. Maybe he can win again today and keep it in Canada. You know what these guys do each and every day, how they get out there, how hard they have to work, and the danger they seem to put themselves in.
Right.
It's something I truly admire now. I don't really know if I could ever want to get out there, but I truly respect what they do.
Well, he's not afraid to go into the corners. Hockey is back this week, and anything on the agenda for the Phoenix Coyotes?
You know, we're just all thrilled we're back playing hockey. It's just wonderful that the sport has come to some sort of conclusion here, that two sides have come together. Now, we need to get back on the ice. We all know that. And you know what? This week for me, I'm here in Edmonton. I'm off to Cooperstown. My son's in a baseball tournament. I'm looking forward to going there and watching him play a bunch of baseball. So I'm just enjoying these next 5 or 6 days, and then we'll figure out what's going on with the Coyotes.
Thanks very much for stopping by, Wayne. We appreciate your time. Now back to Paul Page.
And you know, Jim, I'm an Indianapolis guy, and I'll never forget when Wayne Gretzky came from Canadian Youth Hockey down to play for the then Indianapolis Racers. And boy, the city was just on fire. Speaking of on fire, Tracy has just locked up that left front once again. Allmendinger has been taking a nice smooth line through every corner, and Tracy's had to hug the inside to try and keep him back.
Actually, that's 2 corners. You saw that one where Paul commented on locking up, and then the next turn 12, he locked up the other side going in. The problem with locking up a tire is it drags, and when it drags on the ground, it creates a flat spot. So then what happens,
and again,
you get that flat spot, so every time you get on the brakes, the tire rolls until it hits the flat spot, and it stops again. So it just continues to get worse and worse.
PT, though, on occasion has shown a remarkable ability to drive through vibrations and problems with the car. Notice, too, that A.J. Allmendinger is closing in on Wilson from 3rd place. Let's send you down to the pits and Todd Lewis.
Paul, the best example of probably driving through problems for Tracy was last week in Toronto when he had the front wing clipped off the car and continued to rip off some of the quickest laps. Yes, Justin Wilson and A.J. Allmendinger are pushing him from behind. He's just trying to run the quickest laps that he possibly can, and yes, defend his position. But spoke with Neil Mickelwright a minute ago, not reporting any problems with the car. Of course, he has got his hands full, which may be part of the reason he's not so chatty on the radio. But Tracy is just trying to make as quick a lap as possible. And yes, he has gone from the alternate tires back to the primary set, so that is part of the difficulty.
Bridgestone, to every Champ Car Series race, brings 2 sets of tires. One set is Blackwall. That's the harder of the 2 compounds. The Redwall tires are softer, and they were about a half a second faster when they were tested during practice and qualifying here. So you get onto those reds, you should be in a lot better shape, but then you're also talking about a tire wearing a little quicker.
Yeah, sure. And the other thing about that is it can change the balance of the car, and I think that's what we're seeing here. We see Paul Tracy, who was very fast on the red alternate tires starting the race. Now he's put the primary tires back on, as have the Rousport guys, but they definitely have his number. As
that could have done it right there. Tracy hangs on to it.
Boy, I'll tell you, it's just a matter of time. You know, those tires are locking up. I'm sure Tracy's got some flat spots there. And Justin's just licking his chops. He knows, but he's got to make it happen here. Like I say, to get the most out of the advantage of being faster, he's got to get around him so he can start pulling away.
Well, what we don't know, we do know that Justin Wilson was short-fueled on the first and only stop that we've had thus far. What we don't know is how short-fueled that was and how far he can carry the car. Tracy continues to lock him up on almost every critical corner now.
You know, he's doing it so often right now, and they're not huge lockups. He just drags the tire in there. It's almost like he's having some problem with the brakes.
Wilson's team keeping track television as well as data monitors from pit side. If he's got the fuel, seeing what I'm seeing, I would think I'd consult him to just take it very carefully and don't go up there if you don't have to. Tell a race driver that.
Yeah. I think when you're in that situation, you're pushing as hard as you can, try and make something happen here.
Now again, we run with a slower car just ahead of Paul Tracy, and that could affect this outcome as well.
Coming up on lap traffic, people in your mirrors, you got to get around them quick. If they hold you up just a little bit, it's going to kill your momentum. As Paul's going to find out here, we'll see how he makes his move.
If Tracy's team, and in fact both Tracy, the Four-Side Championship Racing team, and Rousports are doing their job, they'll be running down the pit lane trying to make sure that the cars that they're closing on become well aware that the leaders are coming. They ask them to radio out to that car and make sure they know they're there.
Yeah, you know, when you're getting lapped, you lose a lap, and that's gonna on this type of a track, a short track and a short race, that's gonna, you know, not put you in contention for sure. But when you see the leaders coming up, you got to give way. You're gonna get in a lot of flack if you change the outcome of the race because you're a lap car.
Good sportsmanlike move there. So the leaders stay right together on the circuit. Paul Tracy still fighting an ill-handling car.
Look at the black lines that are developing now on the racetrack. You can see it all the way around. Very, very dark. And I know when I talked with the Forsyth guys this morning with Paul's car, they were saying he was fighting the car, instability, a bunch of things out there actually, and they weren't sure which way the track was going to go. And I think now we're starting to see the track go towards the Rousport guys.
Oh, and Tracy locks it up again. This time Wilson gets down in side by side and forces his way into the lead.
Awesome move there. He saw Paul for a few laps lock up that tire and slide a little wide. He was just waiting for that to happen again, and he just slotted right in. There really wasn't a gap for a car, but he shoved it in there and made it happen.
Now Allmendinger is going to make the same move, and Tracy left enough room for him, but AJ backed it out.
That was wise. That was a desperate move by AJ. He saw his teammate go around Paul. He doesn't want to let him drive away, so he shoved it in there, but Paul did not, you know, I'm not going to open the door for somebody like that. I'm going to close it unless you're right up next to me. AJ's got to watch out. He'll end up knocking a wheel off and ending his day.
Now he's around Tracy, though. So the CDW car, the Western Union car, both Rousport, and they're out in front. And Paul Tracy, who has fought a fairly valiant fight here, now can perhaps relax for a few moments, but pretty quickly he's going to have the likes of Oriol Servia and Alex Tagliani on top of him.
Paul's still running faster laps than fourth place on, but if the tires get worse and he continues to lock up the tires, again, I'm thinking there's something wrong with his braking. You just don't see that happen over and over again. Usually you're able to adjust, put a little bit of rear brake bias into the car to keep from locking those up. And these Bridgestones, they don't flat spot very easily. You got to drag them into the corner a long way to really get that kind of a flat spot that makes them lock up over and over.
Let's go down to Don Martin.
Carl Russo, very much a case of patience rewarded out there.
There's no question that Justin stalked and stalked and stalked. We think we're faster than Paul, but Paul's a heck of a champion. He puts up a heck of a fight.
Now, Justin, we hear, took on a little less fuel. Jeremy told us just a moment ago. Is that going to be a factor in how long he can stay out there and in the lead?
I'm pretty sure Jeremy was lying. Well, no, I think he was actually telling the truth. We did take a little bit of less fuel on, but as you can see, Justin is going awfully quickly. He just did a 60.4, which is fully 2 seconds a lap faster. If he gets going, he's going to be tough to catch. But we're going to see how AJ responds right now.
Well, I know you want to get back here. Thanks a lot.
Thanks very much.
Look at it just one more time.
Gets in there, locks up that right front tire, slides a little wide. Wilson's on the curb. He knows he's got to use all the track on the inside because there's really not a wide enough spot to slide in there, but he makes it happen, pulls it off. It's an awesome pass.
And then right after that, there comes AJ, and he gets inside. Neil Mickelwright is the team manager of Paul Tracy's team. Todd, what do they think's wrong?
Neil, Paul's lost a couple of spots. Is the car okay?
Yeah, I think the car's okay, but I mean, we pretty much used up the tyres staying ahead of the two Roo Sports cars. I mean, they've been fast all weekend. I think Paul hung in there and did a great job, but the tyres are pretty much used up now.
All right, we'll wait and see if the new tires on the next pit stop help Paul Tracy. Remember, if they go back to the Reds, Paul might be a little bit quicker, but he did say that Roo Sport team has been on another planet all weekend long.
I wonder what will become their philosophy now with 53 of the 88 laps now complete. We'll be right back. And back now at the West Edmonton Mall Grand Prix of Edmonton. Again, the view from the cockpit of Alex Tagliani's car on what has been an interesting and hard-fought race, especially at the front of the field thus far. A.J. Allmendinger leading in the early going, and then Paul Tracy coming up and taking over, and now ready for his stop. This is the leader. Remember, Justin Wilson short-fueled, and so he has to come in a bit early.
Yeah, for that short fuel strategy to really work, Justin needed either a yellow, or he still needs a yellow so he can conserve a little fuel, or he needed to get ahead of Tracy sooner so that he could put a gap on him so there wouldn't be such a time loss when he came in the pits. So right now, their only other option, I think, is to get a yellow or to get good fuel economy.
Yeah, but here's a big question now. He comes in on lap 53, refuels because of the short fuel on the first stop. I don't think 53 is late enough in this race for him to go all the way to the end at the 88th lap.
No, for sure. They need a pretty good yellow. He needs to tune it down a little, start backing off and going into the corner, saving fuel, maybe short shifting it a little bit until they're sure that they can get to the end.
Down to Don Martin.
Well, actually, they were anticipating a yellow because Timo Glock's car they thought was stalled on the course. At that moment, they thought the pits were going to be closed. They wanted to get in to make sure. After what happened last week to Paul Tracy, better to err on the side of caution.
Yeah, but better not to err at all.
True enough.
And it appears, at least if our math is right, 32, 33 laps are pretty much it. And in my world, you never do math in public, but in my world, 33 and 53 doesn't get me to the end of the race.
No, the guy that's in the best position right now is AJ, without a doubt, because he took on a full fuel load when they came into the pits, and he wasn't losing time being behind Paul Tracy and Justin Wilson. Justin Wilson came into the pits to short fuel. AJ got around Paul. He's now running some of the fastest laps of the race, pulling out a big gap. So when he does stop, he's probably going to be in front again.
Keeping an eye on Paul Tracy as he comes off the course and onto the pit road. Hopefully a change of tires, perhaps an adjustment to the aerodynamics will set that car back the way that Paul Tracy wants it. Send you down to Todd Lewis.
All right, Paul Tracy making his second and what should be his final stop of this 88-lap event. They have gone back to the alternate and quicker Bridgestone red-sided tires. Car down, waiting on fuel. No other adjustment. Paul Tracy away.
I'll keep an eye on Tracy now as he comes up to speed. They have the speed limit established not just in the pit lane, but all the way through the right-hander that takes him out toward the race circuit, and only about here can he actually start to accelerate up to full speed in turn 1.
All right, and we talked about those cold tire pressures. This is when Paul's really going to have to get the most out of the car to make up some time.
Oh, the old famous four-wheel drift.
Whew. That was close. Got a little sideways there, added some steering, slid the front end a little bit, just barely kept it off the wall.
And so Allmendinger brings his car in on the 58th lap. Don?
Well, 4 new tires going on, and you're sure that A.J. Allmendinger will be getting the full load of fuel. They do not believe Justin Wilson can make it all the way without another stop. Oh.
Yeah, you see them carefully weighed. Tires were already on it. They went about 2 seconds longer to make sure that that fuel probe had filled the tank right to the top.
They did, and the other thing, the key thing I noticed there is they went with the primary tires, which means sometime during qualifying, maybe when AJ got a flat or damaged his tires, he doesn't have a second set of alternates to put on there. So Paul's got the softer tires. It might be enough to basically close that gap and get up to the front there again.
Oriol Servia picked up the lead when Allmendinger headed into the pits. Man who almost won, in fact, looked like almost a shoe-in to win in Toronto.
Oriol's kind of the sleeper here. We haven't talked much about him. I've been watching his lap times. He's been fast, one of the fastest cars on the track. He didn't start off fast. He only got fast about 2/3 of the way through his stint. The key for his race is he needs to pick it up. Well, he needs to keep running fast times now, but when he comes into the pits and he goes back out on cold tires, he needs to pick it up there. He needs to be faster there to close that gap.
Oriol is a Spaniard, Catalonian actually, and he's short, he's small, but he's very compact and incredibly strong.
Yeah, he sure is. It's kind of funny describing him that way, but yeah, he is a compact individual, but he is very strong. I've known Oriol for quite a while. He actually, when he raced Indy Lights, he was based out in Northern California from where I'm from. We did some go-karting together, and great personality. He's an awesome driver and a good guy to be around, but see if he can make it happen here.
You never heard how I described you then?
I guess it wasn't compact.
Well, the industrial strength hairspray, I think, mostly what I was going with. Oriol Servia on the road. Now, these, starting with Tracy's stop, all, if our calculations are right, are within range of the end of the race.
Yeah, everybody that's stopping now, they're planning on going to the end with a green flag. They don't need a yellow flag to basically get them to the end. I think the only person that really needs that is Justin Wilson.
Tag on the pit road, you saw that. Don?
Oriol Servia, new rubber. The alternate red stripes are off. Full load of fuel, and the race leader gives it up in the pits, but is back on course.
Boy, how slow does that seem?
Some problem there.
There's not a lot of noise coming out of that car.
No, that looks like the golf cart I was driving around in qualifying.
Todd?
Alex Tagley does coast it in. As a matter of fact, the engine was silent as he came to a stop. They are putting on 4 new Bridgestones. Yes, the primary Bridgestone, not the alternate tires. They're trying to get the car refired at the back. They think they've got it full of fuel. That's the routine service. Yes, they do get it fired. Now Alex trying to find a gear, and he does get away, but a lengthy stop.
And just short of a perfect fuel calculation for the Aussie Vineyards team. And Tag?
Yeah, that's cutting a little tight. You know, when you're going slow coming into the pit lane because you've run out of fuel, giving up a lot of time. That's 150 miles an hour on the racetrack. A couple of seconds is, you know, half a straightaway.
Well, the worst possibility is the circuit's 2 miles around. If you make that miscalculation as somebody's going by start-finish, their chances of making it to the pits are pretty much zero.
Yeah, it is. It's a long track, too, and, you know, you get stopped out on the backside. Well, they're probably just going to pull you around and park you, I would say. So you can't afford to have miscalculating the fuel like that, you know, definitely once you go past start-finish line.
The points are so critical in this series based on performance, and moving to the front, Bourdais is going to pick one up, badly needed. Sebastian Bourdais out in front. This round of pit stops still going through, but Bourdais solidly in first. We'll look at the power to pass once again.
Yeah, you know, Sebastian, he hasn't stopped yet, so he's running really fast, and he's running right at the front. I think what he needs, what he was planning on doing is doing a little bit of a short fuel, maybe trying to stretch his fuel as much as possible now, doing a short fuel, hopefully trying to get out in front of a few guys he was behind early on before the stop.
They expect Sebastian Bourdais in the pits at the conclusion of this lap.
And I would guess that it's going to be, you know, definitely a sub 9-second stop. Again, I think he's taken on less fuel than a lot of guys who had to fill up completely.
But he is on the alternate tire, the red sidewall softer, more sticky tire right now. He only had one set though, so he's got to go to the black.
Yeah, I see the only guy in the front that's the top 4 or 5 that are on alternate set is Paul Tracy. And I think he's going to be in 3rd position once all the pit stops are cycled here. So we'll see how well the guys in front with the standard tires can keep in front of him, or whether he's going to be able to challenge them.
PT closing laps of the race in a sticky tire. That could be a nightmare.
And remember, sticky tires at the start of the race, he looked like he had everybody covered at that point.
Don Martin.
Sebastian Bourdais hits the marks perfectly. The new tires going on, and the fuel in, and thumbs up, ready to leave, waiting for fuel, and Sebastian Bourdais, the race leader, is back in the race.
As suggested, there are those black wall tires, reputed to be about a half a second per lap slower.
Disappointing that that was over a 10-second stop, though. I would thought that it would have been down around an 8 with the amount of fuel that he had to take on, which was less than a lot of the other guys.
One of the greatest concerns coming into this race was the pit itself and how they were going to rejoin the quick spin there. Mario Dominguez. Oh, Tracy.
Well, Tracy, yeah.
Well, that changes things.
It does. Now,
it looked to be over in 10, where he had problems on Friday. Let's take a look at that. Yep, that's a loss right down the escape road.
Interesting thing that there was something going on the inside of slow.
Well, that was on the Friday.
Oh, gotcha.
Replay. This also was Friday, and not nearly as lucky.
Yeah.
Had a little conversation about it, an animated conversation, I would say.
That's been a tough area for Paul. There's really a lot of bumps coming in there, and he's been complaining of oversteer, turn and oversteer, and that's probably the corner where it's going to show up the worst.
Allmendinger, Wilson, Bourdais, top 3. 4th is Serbia, and then with the misstep is Tracy.
We saw Bourdais come into the pits. He got out just ahead of his teammate. Now, the tricky part about that, being in that situation, is your tires are cold. Serbia's tires were, you know, warmer. He was faster. Bourdais needed to stay ahead of him on those opening laps, and he did, and now he's in 3rd place.
All throughout the race, as they lay down more and more rubber, which makes the track stickier and faster. Unlike most tracks, this brand new circuit, most tracks get a little oil, get a little mixture, they get slower. This one has actually gotten faster throughout the run. A.J. Allmendinger's pole speed was a 58.6, and he's been running a 53.9.
Yeah, it's definitely getting faster, and you know, it's going to continue to get faster as the race goes on. And remember, the heavy fuel load now, they'll slow down just a little bit for the time being, but in about 10 or 15 laps, again, you're going to start seeing those fast laps being clicked off by these drivers.
What he'd been running a 59.9. I think he'd like to run a 53.9. So on board once again with Alex Pagliani, the leader, A.J. Allmendinger, as we begin to move to the closing laps. We welcome you back to the Champ Car World Series powered by Ford, the West Edmonton Mall Grand Prix of Edmonton inaugural event, and we're going toward the end now as we show you the Nations Cup competition with both road course points and oval course points. Canada up at the top, and Carl Haas and his partner Paul Newman. Carl almost constantly writing during the event. He looks up as they cross the start-finish line, and he'll make a scribble, a note, And Paul Newman a few moments ago was leaning over talking to Carl. Don't forget, Paul Newman is a remarkable race driver in his own right. In fact, once he made the film Winning, he started driving, and right from the start in SCCA club racing, he was good.
Paul's pretty interesting. He's a cool guy to be around. I had the opportunity a few races when I was at Long Beach and drove the two-seater with him in the back on the Jay Leno show.
Oh.
And he was, you know, I mean, they just told me to dump the clutch and go, and that's what I did, and he was just all grins back there.
There's the leader, A.J. Allmendinger, as he comes up and around Tagliani, putting him a lap down. Second place is Wilson, third place Bourdais. And then Oriol Servia. There they come through your screen, Bourdais and now Servia. 1 through 4, tight together on the circuit.
Boy, the Roosport guys are really stretching it out. They're 25 seconds ahead of the next group here. So really, that spin cost Paul Tracy a lot, we know for sure. But also Sebastian Bourdais, he's been fast, but looks like he's going to need a yellow or something to close the gap here, because it's going to be tough to make up that much time.
Talking about the Roosport team, Don Martin?
Just an update from Jeremy Dale. Both drivers now okay on fuel. Allmendinger has plenty. It's a little tighter for Justin Wilson, but they believe he can make it all the way to the end if he's careful and things go well. But for the moment, they believe Justin Wilson has enough to finish the race.
Then again, that's what I'd say.
This is going to be a battle here, because for AJ to keep with Justin in the earlier laps, he had to really hustle the car around. And it looks like Justin's car is a lot more consistent and a lot more smooth. And I think as soon as he gets the green light that says, yeah, we're okay on fuel, he's going to start pushing hard, and he's going to be all over AJ.
We talk about fuel management as the leaders come up on the 55 car of Alex Barafico. It used to be just simply short shifting. It is far more complex than that now.
Yeah, short shifting is definitely a way to get better fuel economy. The other big way is getting off the gas early. That means if you're coming into a corner like turn 1 and you normally brake or at the 3 marker and get off the gas at exactly the same time, you might pop off the gas at the 4 marker, which is 50 yards earlier, coast to the 3 marker, and then get on the brakes. And that's a huge area where you could save a lot of fuel on the racetrack.
Okay, here comes the part I like the best. On board Alex Tagliani. Just going to watch and listen. Talking to Alex Tagliani is his engineer, Rob Edwards, team headquarters in Indianapolis, Indiana. And here's a fact of it, as you know. Rob Edwards owns a Ferrari 308 GTSI. Now, how do I know that? Because Derek Walker bought it from me to give to Rob Edwards for good service. And I go over and ask every time I see him, you treating the car right? You know, that's my baby.
Well, now I'm really disappointed because, you know, I drove for Derek. He gave me the opportunity.
Gave you nothing.
99. And I worked with Rob. And never once did he say, you know, Mamo, you can take the Ferrari out. I was in my pickup truck at that point.
You're kidding me. Well, you lived in that for a long while, didn't you?
Well, try not to get that out too much. You know, I'm trying to bring my status up a little bit here.
Dinger, Wilson, Bourdais, top three. Don Martin.
Well, there's no question. They were pleased with the way Sebastian Bourdais was able to knife through the field in the first segment on the black tires, but then when the reds went on, they expected a little better and didn't get it. So now he's moved up into third, and he'll continue to hold the driver standings lead if he can get past Wilson and Allmendinger. But that's a daunting task now for Bourdais, who is not turning in the kind of laps that suggests he'll be able to catch the Rousport guys up front.
There is Bourdais, the McDonald's car number 1, reigning series champion. And now the leaders are beginning to close on Nelson Felipe. More lap traffic just ahead of him. And that's where it gets a little tense.
Boy, the lap traffic is very tough when you're out there. I know as a driver, when I'm out on the racetrack, you're closing in on somebody. You're trying to get around them as quick as possible because every second you lose behind them, obviously you're going to go slower around the racetrack. But you're also taking a chance of blasting by them too quickly or being too aggressive and making contact, which we know ends your day. So it's a real fine balance to get around those lap cars.
You know, and while we're watching Timo Glock, the Rocket Sports team DHL car, has been a little bit of a surprise to me that Rocket Sports was not stronger. I asked the team owner, Paul Gentilozzi, what's going on. He said, well, you know, we really got off our stride about 3 races ago, and it's taking a little time to bring it back.
Yeah, you know, I drove for them last year for 2 races in Toronto and Vancouver, and I was really impressed with how that team worked. But you definitely, you know, definitely have to provide the information. I think Timo Glock is a new driver, and he's still learning how to basically give them the information that they need to go fast. But the race today, they've done a lot. They've made a lot of improvements, and they've moved up quite a bit. They've done a great job, and Timo looks really comfortable in the car. He's sliding it around. You know, he's in control, and they've done a great job today.
Paul Tracy continues to appear to struggle a bit with his car, even though he's got those new nice red sidewalled Bridgestones on board. Todd, what's the report from the pit?
Well, the latest on Paul Tracy is he's getting the most out of the car that he possibly can. You can't be too aggressive trying to get around some of the lap traffic, because we saw what happened to Paul, especially in turn number 10, when he does get a little overly aggressive. Sometimes you'll turn the car around. He's trying to get as much as he can on this day, collect championship points, knowing he is going to lose ground to both Bourdais and, of course, the 2 Rousports cars, but make the best out of what you got is the advice to bring this one home.
And his teammate, Mario Dominguez, will go on board with him now. Looking back at Brenner. Dominguez currently occupies 7th place, and we have a full course caution. Pits are closed, 4-course yellow. There's the reason. And that's just too dangerous a position.
Must have backed it in there somewhere. You can see he's missing his rear wing, it looks like, from this angle. Flat spot of the tires. He had slid quite a ways.
Oh, we got more than one car. Bjorn Bergheim.
Now this is where things get interesting, because those gaps that we were talking about that Sebastian Bourdais possibly needed to close onto the leaders, and also Paul Tracy, if he's going to make a charge, this is the restart he's going to do it on. This is going to be his only chance to make it happen right now, because he doesn't want those Rousport guys to start stretching it out again.
This will maybe give us an idea of what happened as we follow Bergheim.
Oh, so far so good, but you can see he got a little wide there. Got very close to the wall. When you get that close, there's a little bit of dirt out there. It just takes a tiny bit to get the car sideways.
Backed it into the tire barrier. Fortunately, that does soften the blow a bit and reduces some of the damage on the car, but it does bring out our second full course caution of the day. That'll bunch up the leaders. So what's going to happen in these closing laps? We'll see. The West Edmonton Mall Grand Prix of Edmonton, full course caution, second time today. There are your top 5, and they'll all be bunched together as they get Bjorn Verdheim's car off of the circuit. He just lost it, backed it in. Fortunately, he's okay, climbed right out of the car. Some damage, though almost any damage on a champ car is fairly expensive. All of the very expensive carbon fiber work and all that, a little bitty wing, you can talk $75,000 pretty quickly. Don Martin, what's up?
Well, good news for the Roosport team in connection with the yellow flag. It virtually guarantees that Justin Wilson will have enough fuel to finish the race, and they're also encouraged by the fact that even though their gap will close up, they do have a couple of back markers between themselves and the Newman Haas cars, so they'll feel they're in good shape for the restart, Paul.
Well, we should be now one lap away from the restart when they cross the start-finish line, and just 10 laps to go in competition, actually 9. If they are able to come out with the green flag in one lap as planned.
Well, I tell you, that's great news for Justin with the yellow flag, because now he's like, great. Now I can race as hard as possible. I've got as much fuel as I need. And those two, between AJ and Justin, they're running. Their fastest laps are nearly identical with a tenth or so. So they both have equally fast cars. You just wonder how much Justin's had to hold back on these laps just now to basically conserve fuel, and we'll get to see it right now in the restart.
But you have the potential here of an owner's greatest joy and worst nightmare all at the same time. I'm leading 1-2, and at the same time, what if those guys get together? Because Champ Car Series powered by Ford, they do not, black flag going out to one of the cars there, they do not generally have team orders.
Yeah, and it's, been there, done that before. Certainly racing your teammate, you always have a chance of making contact when you're that close.
Don Martin.
Well, let's address that with Carl Russo. Are there team orders with Allmendinger and Wilson so close together on this restart?
Are there team orders? Is that what you said? There are no team orders on this team, and there never will be as long as I'm parking my car in the parking lot. These two guys can go race. If you watched Portland last year when they were both rookies, they ran wheel-to-wheel, side-by-side, never touched. Ran a heck of a race, and they were on different teams.
Is that Wilson?
So I think they'll be fine.
Well, Carl Russo, as Justin Wilson has just spun out, sorry to break the bad news, we'll go back to Paul.
Yeah, and we're not sure why, because we're still under the full course caution. Let's take a look at it.
Warming up his tires.
Uh-huh.
Warming up his tires. That's, you see it happen all the time, but it's not something you want to happen.
Yeah, that's also the please don't catch us on camera. Bad news.
On this restart, what Justin was thinking is he's like, okay, I want to be able to make sure that I can attack right away. So he's trying to keep his tires warm, trying to get them warm by weaving back and forth, puts a little friction in there, gets them nice and hot and grippy. You do it too much, and this is what happens, unfortunately.
Thank goodness he was able to keep it off of the wall. There's the view from Dominguez as he came past. Thank goodness he was able to keep it off of the wall. There's the view from Dominguez as he came past. So that kind of changes things up at the front.
Sure does. Now he's going to be the one that's got a real fast car and see how many moves he can make, come back up through the field.
Sebastian Bourdais, who started 10th, now in 2nd. Wilson's going to try to get back up there if he can.
Boy, that's too bad. That is really disappointing for a driver for sure.
Restart is all about momentum. Allmendinger nailed the throttle. Green comes out and got a bit of a jump on Bourdais.
This is AJ's race. He's got a great restart. He's got a fast car. His teammates back there a ways. This is his race to win right now.
And 8 laps to go. But what a terrible situation for Wilson. They were looking so good. Roosport 1-2. It was going to be a battle between teammates. Look back here for Wilson.
You can see
finally.
And you can see these cars on cold tires sliding the back end coming out of that turn, trying to get grip into the car, trying to get heat into the tires. Looked like Oriol Servia was putting a little pressure on his teammate Sebastian Bourdais in that turn. So Oriol's got a fast car.
You got a glimpse too of Justin Wilson trying desperately to make up some time and distance. Whoa! What's going on out there? Allmendinger. Where are they all going? I've never seen anything quite like that. that all about? Not one, but two cars, and one of them the leader. And now Allmendinger's going to head for the pit road.
Boy, all I can think is something mechanically must have happened, and it's bringing him into the pits right now. Nothing else really makes sense.
Wow, pretty sudden onset, but you said at the start that this track can beat these cars down. Look at this.
The car just didn't turn. Just didn't turn. Looked like he broke a tie rod, which basically controls which way the front wheels are pointed. But it was interesting that the second car went wide too, almost as if there was something on the track, but that doesn't make a lot of sense.
So, A.J. Allmendinger out of the car. He had 8 laps to go to the end of the race. In the lead, it looked like it was his all the way. Now, it belongs to Sebastian Bourdais, with Oriol Servia all over him, and Paul Tracy back in the game in 3rd place.
What an amazing turn of events here. This is absolutely amazing. Paul Tracy's back in the game. Oriol Servia right on top. He's in 2nd, but he wants to finish 1st. He wants to prove himself.
Allmendinger's pits. It doesn't matter here anymore. Unbelievable. 82 laps complete.
You
never 5.5 to go.
Yeah, and you never know on this type of a track. It's really bumpy. You never know when parts are going to start breaking. Pop that curb just a little bit there. Maybe that was just enough to break the front end.
AJ doesn't even want to get out of the car. He had it. He owned it. Well, you talk about a broken heart. There is one.
Yeah, he's so disappointed. You know, this is such a physical track like we talked about, and he worked so hard. He was hustling that car all the time, and to have something like that happen it's disappointing. It's very disappointing for him. He did a great job up to this point.
Like any great athlete, I mean, you know the feeling. You have only so many opportunities in your lifetime up at this class, up at the top level of competition, and there was a chance just gone away.
Yeah, for the wins, you know, the wins are the ones you hate to lose because, like you said, Paul, there's only so many times when your car is that dominant and that strong. Normally, you have to fight for it a lot harder, and you hate to give up those wins when you really have it in the bag at that point.
Yeah, but take a look at this. As well, we were looking at Wilson trying to get his way up through the field. Now the only representative of the team.
And look who's right there in front of him is Timo Glock. We were talking about the Rocket Sports team earlier. They've done a great job, and now he's in 4th position and looking pretty strong.
Bourdais, Servia, Tracy. 1, 2, 3. 5 laps to go. I don't think I've ever seen a driver more devastated.
This is the battle on the track right now. Looks like Justin's setting him up a little bit here. He wants to get to the inside. Got a little wider on the entry to try and get a straighter line coming off the turn. Wasn't able to make it happen, though.
Battle for 4th place. AHL car, CDW car, Justin Wilson.
Close.
Oh, nice touch! Wilson bears the better for it, assuming nothing is broken on his car.
If I was Timo, I'd be disappointed. I'd be a little mad at Justin there. Yeah.
Try another word.
Yeah, sorry. I'd be very angry. You know, Justin got his wheel in there, but it wasn't enough. He was in a section of the track, especially where you need to be side by side to let the guy know.
Here it is again. Look at this.
Sticking it in there. Timo turns in like he normally would. Leaves him a little room. Justin pops off the curb, runs a little wide, boom. Left rear tire spins Timo around.
Yeah, but Justin was over the curb. I mean, he was trying not to be there and really not force the issue at all as well.
He was, but when you're Timo and you're on the outside and you've already given him 3 or 4 feet, you go any wider and you're going to hit dirt and slide off yourself.
No consolation to A.J. Allmendinger. Well, that's got to hurt.
He's been so close.
The course stays green despite that contact. Top of the field, Sebastian Bourdais, Oriol Servia, Paul Tracy, 1, 2, 3.
Well, Justin's got around one guy with Timo with that incident we just saw, but he's got a little bit of time now to get up to the back of Paul Tracy.
And I'm not so sure that if he does get there, Tracy would go that easily.
No. No, and you know, Oriole's looking pretty racy right now, too. He's actually running a little faster than his teammate. He's not far behind him. He could potentially make a move here in the closing laps.
2 to go now for Sebastian Bourdais in the number 1 McDonald's car. His teammate, Oriole Servia, is right behind him. Both cars out of the Newman-Haas stable. Paul Tracy is third. Well, there's Haas and Newman. Carl Haas with his trademark cigar, unlit, but clenched between his teeth, nevertheless. Don Martin.
A.J. Allmendinger receiving an ovation from the crowd, but the pain is obviously very real to you. What happened out there?
I threw it away. I threw it away. My team gave me the best car, and I just threw it away like usual.
Nothing broke on the car?
Yeah, after I hit the wall.
There'll be better days ahead.
Wow. A.J. Allmendinger takes all the blame himself. And this was, of course, Wilson and Timo Glock, and not a lot of room. Wilson is able to keep it handling, and Glock has to take the backward slide. Nose to nose with Dominguez there for a moment.
Yeah, again, that pass. You know what AJ was referring to, which we didn't see, was before that curb where he popped the curb and the suspension broke. He must have just brushed the wall, loosened something up enough so that when he did hit that curb, which was normal, but it was too much at that point for the car to handle, broke the suspensions.
When you think of all of the trouble that Sebastian Bourdais has had over the past 2 races, certainly at Toronto and here during practice, pretty severe damage to the wall at one point, didn't get all the tire cycling that he needed, so he didn't have the reds available, and now as the white flag comes out, 1 more lap to go in this inaugural event. Wilson now has caught Tracy. Well, this is going to be good. Final lap of the run.
He's going to try and get him, but he's going to have to make it happen. He's got a much faster car at this point. He closed a lot of time the last 2 laps, but he's also had a couple run-ins here, as we've just seen, so let's see what happens.
Top 4 all right together on the course in the final lap of competition. The West Edmonton Mall Grand Prix of Edmonton. Sebastian Bourdais, the leader. His teammate Oriole Servia second. There's Paul Tracy and Justin Wilson. Wilson, the winner in Toronto, the most recent event.
You can see Paul sliding that back end coming off the corner. It might be just enough for Justin to get a run on him and make that pass before the checkered flag here.
Another quick turn. Right then left. Top 4 all strung together. And Sebastian Bourdais first under the checkered flag, followed by his teammate Oriole Servia. It's 1-2 for Newman Haas. Paul Tracy third. Justin Wilson fourth. Oh, yeah. Listen to this crowd.
What an amazing race, you know, for Sebastian here. He just picked people off one at a time, worked his way up. A few things happened in his favor with other drivers, and now look at them. They're at the front here.
You know, this crowd deserved this race. Over 55,000 of them came out in a fairly steady rain and some cold temperatures. And then they came back to see it run. They were actually afraid they were going to have to turn people away.
Just an awesome day, I'll tell you. A great race. Everybody all throughout the field, the way it switched over back and forth at the end there.
Find me a better race fan than the Canadian race fan. Brand new race. Sebastian Bourdais takes the victory after a fairly long and difficult weekend. There's one of the nice things about Newman. He's so personal with all of the team. Of course, he's a racer. He understands what it's all about. The McDonald's car, Sebastian Bourdais, has taken the very first win in the West Edmonton Mall Grand Prix of Edmonton. We'll be back to talk with all of them. Well, we're back. The race has been run all 88 laps, and it was good. It was very, very good. If, of course, you were Sebastian Bourdais, it was excellent. If you were A.J. Allmendinger, it's one that's going to tear at you for a very long time. Let's go to Todd.
With Paul Tracy, you finish on the podium, and it sure didn't look like you were going to for a while. That was a fight from start to finish.
Yeah, it was a great race. I mean, I thought we had a good shot there in the beginning when the track grip was down, and my car was good. But then as the track grip level came up, my car, the steering got so heavy I could hardly turn the steering wheel anymore. We were running probably a little bit too much caster in the car, and it made the steering really heavy, and I was really struggling. And you know, I just started to have problems with braking and turning in because the weight of the wheel was so heavy, and it just, you know, I got mixed up with Marcus Marshall. He wouldn't let me by, you know, and I have tried to pass him and spun, and you know, probably could have finished second probably.
An unbelievable weekend, and you were chasing this car, it sounds like, from start to finish, even through the end.
The start was good. The first stint was good. Half of the second stint was good, and then it all started. Once the grip level came up, the car started to handle really badly, so it was just a struggle from there.
So you bounced back after a tough weekend in Toronto last weekend, focused again on the championship, except Bourdais and Oriol Servia both finish ahead of you.
I mean, what can you do? I mean, you know, the guy's got a lot of luck right now, and you know, we fought all day, and you know, the race just fell into his lap, and so there's not much we can do about that.
Congratulations on the podium. Good luck in 2 weeks in San Jose.
Thank you.
Paul?
Yeah, and hard fought there. Sebastian Bourdais, as he's ready to accept all the accolades of this massive crowd, over 80,000 here. We're going to show you the rundown through the entire field. Look at the smile on him, though. There they are, the top 9 for you. Bourdais, Servia, Tracy, Wilson. The actions at the end of the race, extraordinarily costly to A.J. Allmendinger.
Yeah, sure was. I mean, he really had the race in the bag. They've had the car all weekend, and he's been so close so many times. It's very disappointing that happened to him towards the end.
Go from the lead and the pole and the hard-fought out in front, and you're going to be scored for 14th. That really does hurt. But it also gives you an idea of how tough a circuit like this can be. You saw how tired Paul Tracy was when he got out of the car. Oriol Servia came in second place. And we'll be talking to the winner, the teammate to Oriol Servia. Newman Haas Racing takes the win when we come back. Now, big crowd, beautiful day, and a very lucky man. Sebastian Bourdais, the #1 McDonald car, the winner in Edmonton. Let's go to Don.
Sebastian Bourdais, unbelievable from 10th place. Do you seriously think you had a shot at winning this race at the start?
No, as I said, really, you know, you can't believe that. It's just one of these days where it looks like, you know, you're under control to make a good finish at the end, but certainly not a P1, and everybody's making mistakes in front of you, and you end up collecting the fruits of your hard work. So it's been really unbelievable.
Sometimes carnage is a good thing. Could you believe what you were seeing in front of you at times?
Yeah, well, you never know what it needed to win a race.
And Oriol Servia, great start for him and a second place finish. He's been the ideal teammate for you?
Yeah, it's just a great combination of first 1 and 2 of Newman Haas of the year, and really happy. You know, definitely, Bruno, we miss you, but we're trying to do the best we can for the Newman Haas team.
Sebastian Bourdais will always be the first champion of the West Edmonton Mall presents the Edmonton Grand Prix.
With Oriol Servia, who finished second, and since joining this Newman Haas team, both you're really standing up on the podium an awful lot.
Yeah, it was a fantastic race for the Newman Haas team. I mean, 1-2, what else can you ask for? Oh, I could ask for something else, just different order. But it was just great for us. Pacifica car up there again, 3 podiums in 4 races, so just really good. I thought I had something for Sebastian at the end, but you know, it was too risky, and I think at this point we just better with 1-2.
Oriol Servia playing the role of a good teammate and finishing second to Sebastian Bourdais. Congratulations on another podium finish. Let's go to Don Martin.
Well, Paul Newman is standing by here with Chris McClure of Speed Channel, and we'll throw a mic in and get Paul's thoughts on this finish. This sort of turnout for an inaugural event has to be pleasantly surprising. I think stunning. I didn't expect it. I'm not sure anyone really did.
Well, I think they'll all come back next year.
Yeah, it was a terrific show. Congratulations to you.
Thanks.
Paul Newman. Paul, could you just a quick comment on the 1-2 finish? It seemed almost impossible with, 8-10 laps to go.
There were as many unexpected things that happened in this race as you can count on. And the marvelous thing is all the people who came here Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and the 90,000 that got here today got a real show.
Was that as good a race as Sebastian's ever run for you?
Close.
Room for improvement from the team owner, Paul Newman. Now let's join Paul Page.
When I walked up to Paul Newman this morning, he just smiled and gestured to the sky and the crowd. He was a happy man. He is happier now. There is still more to come. The podium itself, the awards of the trophies, and a lot of smiling faces. Coverage will continue right after this.
Welcome back to Finning International Speedway. The first ever West Edmonton Mall Grand Prix of Edmonton goes into the books, and boy, was there ever a lot to take in the final stages of this race. Just when it looked like it was going to be a great day for the Rouge Sport racing team, it suddenly became a great day for the Newman Haas racing team, and that's pretty well while everybody comes to the track to see that type of activity. You certainly don't want to be on the losing end of it, and obviously somebody had to be. Let's go to the podium now for post-race festivities.
Champagne.
All right, there are the wrap-up of the festivities. Paul Tracy enjoying himself. You heard him say he had quite a battle. Sebastian Bourdais starting 10th, finishing first, much like he did about a month ago in Portland, and nobody really knew what to expect there. And actually, it was D'Amata who did that, not Bourdais. But either way, Sebastian Bourdais rules the day. So does Newman Haas. And now let's recap the last 2 hours of racing excitement. And boy, we crammed a lot of it in here. It starts off with, of course, the flyby, CF-18 and Snowbird Plains from CFE Cold Lake. That gets everybody revved up. The traditional start to racing. A good crowd of between 80 and 90,000 jam-packed in. And Wayne Gretzky, one of the many on hand today. And Paul Newman, who knew that this was going to be the big sign for the rest of the day. And they're off and racing here at the Civic Center Airport in Edmonton, and going into that turn one, we didn't know what to expect, and what really happens there is Tracy slips by Justin Wilson and moves into second place. Other action, you would see Bourdais passing Dominguez, and then here is the start of a bad day for Andrew Ranger, not even completing the first lap, and officially credited with 3 laps. His day is done due to a suspension problem. More passing there as Bourdais goes by Tagliani, an indication of things to come. Again, more passing as Tracy takes the lead. And then a pit stop here for Wilson getting ahead of his teammate A.J. Allmendinger here. And you can see the exodus of the pits here. And this was a major concern before they moved that speed limit sign up further to where the hot area is in the track. Allmendinger again with a nice move there. And, it looked like it was going to be his afternoon. Everybody's happy and hoping that it could be a Rouge Sport afternoon. But, there it is. The McDonald's car by Sebastian Bourdais gets ahead of Oriol Servia, his teammate right here. He just floored it, really goosed it coming out of the pits, and that's not too far from where I am seated, so you can really see that happen. Then Paul Tracy again with the corner 10 problem, spins out of control, and he said in his interview that Marcus Marshall got in his way. The warm-up on the restart with 10 laps to go, Rouge Sport starts to unravel there. Justin Wilson spins out, loses his position, and on the restart officially there, A.J. Allmendinger, and he blamed himself. You heard it was a very gut-wrenching interview. Said it was his fault, and the pain of it all right there as he has to leave his car. He had a picture-perfect weekend until then, and Wilson moves up, actually takes out Timo Glock there by knocking him right out of the race, so moves into 4th and has his eyes set on Paul Tracy. Would he be able to complete the comeback? Well, as you now know, he did not. And Sebastian Bourdais from 10th to 1st, and the obligatory donuts to celebrate the victory, and nobody really knew what to expect. We knew he would be a factor because he's that competent a driver, and he certainly is there to celebrate. Tracy third, Serbia second, Newman Haas dominating the first ever race here in Edmonton. We'll be back with more right after this timeout. The West Edmonton Mall Grand Prix of Edmonton, brought to you by West Edmonton Mall, the greatest indoor show on earth. Finning, count on us. Ford, the exclusive supplier of Champ Car and the official vehicle of the West Edmonton Mall Grand Prix of Edmonton. And the city of Edmonton, Alberta's capital city. The crowd soaking up the sound of the French national anthem, the national anthem of France, to salute the winner today, Sébastien Bourdais. And, of course, over 80,000 sardined in here today, 190,000 on the weekend. And Paul and Memo, I said off the top, Roo Sports going from everything to nothing, really, and Newman Haas going from nothing to everything, and that's why we all come to the track, isn't it?
Oh yeah, it was terrific. You had the perseverance of a Bourdais and a Tracy, the devastation of AJ, and of course the quiet, steady drive of Oriol Servia into second place.
Yeah, it was awesome. You know, I feel real bad for AJ. We were, you know, raised and spent a lot of time at the same go-kart tracks in Northern California, but he'll get another shot. But it was an awesome race to see people hustling, these drivers hustling these cars around this type of a track, being very aggressive and just going for it, and then changing so often throughout the day. I couldn't call it. It was awesome.
Well, and you always wonder with a brand new circuit, what is it going to bring? You know, some of them have been horribly disappointing, even though we thought they were going to be terrific. This one really delivered.
Yeah, it's had a mixture of so many things: fast corners, bumps that showed in driver mistakes and errors, and then a lot of slow speed stuff, a lot of curbing, a lot of passing, and even lapping out there. It was great. Every aspect of this race was awesome.
Yeah, and mechanically, the cars were right there. We were worried about mechanical failures. We didn't see that.
No, the strong cars, Champ Cars definitely delivered a very strong product here. And, you know, they were using them off the curb, bouncing them, and even brushing the walls a few times. And most of them held up pretty darn well. So it was awesome for reliability out here today.
Jim, altogether, a great day in Edmonton.
It certainly was. The Drive of the Day feature brought to you by Boston Pizza. You're among friends. And who else would be involved in the Drive of the Day but the winner of the day, Sébastien Bourdais, starting 10th up to 5th by the end of 10 laps, and certainly in great position. Made some nice moves coming out of the pit, and was there when the cards fell apart for the Roo Sport Racing team. He pounced on the opportunity, and of course that's why this guy is the defending driving champion and leads the driving standings as we speak. Many of the fans still here, just sitting around. It's, you know, there are more races and activities like a rock concert to happen, but it's like they're trying to soak up and make sense of what they've seen. And as you know, things happen really fast at the track. So as we look back over what happened over the last 2 hours, we look ahead. Molson Indy Montreal qualifying show Saturday, August 27th, 7 o'clock Eastern time. Check your local listings for that. Race day, Sunday, August 28th. It all starts at 1 Eastern time, 10 Pacific time. Thanks for allowing us into your homes. We'll see you in Montreal.